Next stop, sunny Los Angeles, and the Avalanche beat the Kings 5-2. But things go team that pounded the Flyers 2 days ago 4-1. It's an afternoon delight in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Coming up next on UPN 20. It might be their last ever appearance at the Winnipeg Arena, as today the Avalanche wrap up a 4-game road trip against the Jets. And good afternoon, everyone. From Winnipeg, I'm John Kelly. Alongside is Peter McNabb. The Avalanche 2-1 so far on their 4-game trip, but boy, oh boy, was that loss ever a bad one. And the key today, well, how will the Avalanche react to the 7-0 defeat?
Yeah, because, John, for the first time this season, the Avalanche went into a big game and came up flat. Every game this season has been a big one for the Avalanche. The Rangers at Denver, big games they needed to prepare for. They've been ready and they played well. This is the first time all season that didn't happen in Detroit. It'll be a very interesting afternoon here in Winnipeg.
Well, the trip began Tuesday in Vancouver, where the Avalanche won their 3rd game this year, 4-3 over the Canucks.
The Avalanche have played very well in Vancouver, and this was another very good hockey game. Both clubs came out and played well. They skated well. The Avalanche got off to a 3-1 lead. Vancouver came back, tied it at 3, but then middle of the 3rd period, Joey Sakic has done so many times, a perfect pass to Chris Simon. That was your game winner, a very good hockey game in Vancouver. Next night, Colorado moves to Los Angeles. The trade deadline comes and goes. The Avalanche pick up Dave Hannon from the Buffalo Sabres, but they win 5-2 in a well-played hockey game by the Avalanche. Kaminsky picked up 3 goals. Forsberg picked up 3 assists. Fiset, solid in net. He picked up his 21st victory. That's the season high for Stephane Fiset. There was a hat-trick goal, his 34th this season for Kaminsky. And then to Detroit 2 nights later, where the Avalanche just didn't have enough talent that night to match the skill of the Red Wings. The Red Wings had 3 shorthanded goals. They had 3 power play goals. Here's one of them by Taylor, 1 even strength goal. But, John, it was an absolute passing clinic by the Detroit Red Wings as they used speed and skill to really outman the Avalanche in that game.
And that was the Avalanche's worst loss of the season. Yesterday after practice, Mark Crawford, the coaches, met with the players, and then the players had a players-only meeting.
Yeah, it was very intense around that rink yesterday. There wasn't a lot of smiling, there wasn't a lot of laughter, but practice right through the meetings.
And we talked to Mark Crawford and got his reaction to the loss in Detroit.
I didn't react very well, just in the same fashion. Our team didn't react very well during the game. We stood around. We didn't show much energy or emotion, especially when we got down, and that's something that you can't accept at any time during the season. Our team is a much better team than they showed in that game. Our special teams weren't very good. And then I guess the best way to react right now is to put it behind us and try and get those habits back ingrained in our play.
This is the 3rd of 4 meetings between the 2 clubs, and the Avalanche have won both games.
The Avalanche have played well. They scored goals. And the ice here, John, is excellent. And this should make for a very high-paced game here this afternoon in Winnipeg.
Looking at the Western Conference standings, the Red Wings lead it. The Avalanche locked in 2nd. Winnipeg in 8th place, the final playoff spot, but they're hanging on.
They are just hanging on to a hard-charging Anaheim club. Anaheim has won a couple games on the road. They play this afternoon against Chicago. It's going to be a tight race.
And the Jets have a new player. Craig Janney has come over from San Jose, and he'll play on the line with Keith Tkachuk.
Janney is one of the best playmakers in the National Hockey League. You see his numbers from last game. Big game for Janney, but Tkachuk, one of the best power forwards, right up there with Lindros in the league. And the matchup in goal, Patrick Roy and Dominic Roussel. Patrick Roy was pulled after 5 goals against the Red Wings. He's back in goal. Dominic Roussel, his best game as a Jet, as he beats his former teammates last game, the Philadelphia Flyers, making 25 saves in that game. Well, how will the Avalanche react to their worst loss of the year? We'll find out as they take on the Jets coming up next from Winnipeg.
inaugural season of the Colorado Avalanche is being brought to you by Ice Brewed Ice House. Ice brewed so there's never any watered down taste. By the Colorado GMC Truck Dealers, official truck of the Colorado Avalanche. By Conoco, the hottest brand going. By the Denver Post, official newspaper of the hockey fan. And by Pepsi. Nothing else is a Pepsi.
Chair 16, we're going underground at Vail. The top. We're going to the back balls. Woo! Deep stuff. Let's go. Sassy. These are the Glades. 7 miles. Say hello, Glades. China Bowl. Right in your backyard. This goes to Lion's Head. This goes to another zip code. Cruiser. Chair 10. Bumps. Yummy! Chow time. Girlfriend. Chair 8. Chair 3. Chair 2. Beer number 1. Yummy!
Fact. Today's college graduate will have 4 careers. Each day, 10,000 baby boomers turn 50. Ketchup is being outsold by salsa. Your whole world is changing. And while a lot of banks haven't woken up to that fact, one has. Key. We have investment management for the little guy. Fast business banking even on weekends. Teller machines that pay you for using them. And a commitment to keep up with America's changes. Key. For a new America.
I see my skin's chapped and feels painfully dry.
But science sees a thirst for healing moisture and the restoring power of vitamins, lipids, and alpha-hydroxy. So today, science introduces the new Vaseline Intensive Care Lotion. At last, 3 extraordinary ingredients in 1 breakthrough formula that heals dryness for a full 12 hours.
See? It feels so smooth. Now I know my dry skin is healed.
New Vaseline Intensive Care Lotion. The science of healthy skin.
Hey kids, anyone can dress like a pro, but contrary to popular belief, it's not the shoes that improve your game. It takes hard work and practice. That's why we're introducing the Denver Nuggets Youth Basketball Camp, coming this summer at South High School. Learn the fundamentals from Brian Stiff, Tom Hammonds, or Antonio McDice. The camps are open to boys and girls, 8 through high school seniors. For details, call 893-6700. The Denver Nuggets Youth Basketball Camp. We're gonna work your tail off.
And welcome back to Winnipeg, Manitoba, where the Avalanche wrap up their 4-game road trip. I'm John Kelly, alongside is Peter McNabb. Avs have won 2 of the 3 thus far on the journey, and Treks play their last ever game here at the Winnipeg Arena.
And that smile right there was not something we saw the other night from Mark Crawford. He was not happy with the performance. It was even though a short bus trip from the rink over to the hotel, it was a long one.
Time now for our face-off, brought to you by Red Dog. You are your own dog. Paul Stewart, the referee. He'll drop the puck. Forsberg with Kamensky and Lemieux. Kamensky knocked down. Forsberg carries it into the Jet zone. Kicked away by the Jets' Jeff Finley. And Drake works the center. In for Kachuk, brought past to Newmanen. He'll slide it wide. The Jets have their big line on the ice as Walk covers up. Craig Janney in center, Dallas Drake on right wing, and Keith Kachuk on the left side. This line had 11 points the other night in the 4-1 victory against Philly.
Well, and Keith Kachuk, big number 7, he was the guy that set the tone for the Winnipeg Jets. Last game was against Philadelphia. Kachuk was just returning from a 2-game suspension. The club is winless in 6 games. They're playing Philadelphia, who beat them the week before, 4-0 in Philadelphia. First shift of the game, Kachuk comes out and hammers Lindros, and that set the tone for the whole game.
That victory broke a 6-game winless streak for Winnipeg. Now it's Ricci, Yell, and Mike Keane on the ice for the Avalanche. 30 seconds gone, no score. Dallas Eakins back for Winnipeg to their captain, Chris King. And it's tipped to center by the rookie Shane Doan. Sylvain Lefebvre will whip it right back in. And Dominic Roussel, who got the winning goal the other night, sets it up. Lefebvre back at center. Now for Keane. He's a native of Winnipeg. And the puck squirts back to Oleg Tverdovsky. Of course, Tverdovsky and Chad Kilger were picked up in a trade from Anaheim for Timo Solani. Lefebvre off the glass, hit the linesman. Again, our referee, Paul Stewart, the linesman, Randy Mitten, and Mark Wheeler.
Coach Crawford and the coaching staff were talking about the club did not come out with the kind of energy against Detroit that they wanted. And usually that means you're not getting involved physically. Be interesting to watch the first few shifts to see if there's more hitting.
Here comes Sakic, good pass into Simon, the shot, and Roussel took it on the upper part of the body. And the puck cleared near the line, but not out. Here's Scott Young, the drive, and Roussel got his arm on that. Oh, the launch a blast! And that was blocked in front. And back from the deck, Shannon down the near side. Shannon right in, and Guzarov, a good defensive play to block the pass from Darren Shannon. 2 minutes gone, first period, no score.
Well,
the Jets make a change on the fly.
Sorry, John. Oslin pinched right down. That created 2-on-1, but it was read perfectly by Alexei Guzarov.
And now the puck goes into the crowd here in Winnipeg.
Well, for the Avalanche, when you get beat 7-0, it's one of those games that we have not seen this season. You watch the 2-on-1. Good play by Guzarov. He gets in that perfect spot to take away the passing lane. Beautiful read. But the one thing that we haven't seen this year, if you look at the chance by Simon, is the Avalanche really get beaten badly. The worst loss before tonight's game was by 4 goals, twice by the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. So it'd be interesting to see how their team philosophy, do they play better defensively? What do they do differently?
Now Janney back on the line for Newman and a backhander. That was blocked by Forsberg. No score here. Lemieux on to Kamensky. And it's offside at the Jet line. Peter, you mentioned those 2 losses against Anaheim. They lost 7-3 and 4-0. After both losses prior to the Red Wing game were the worst of the year, they won the next game. They beat Calgary 5-3 after the 7-3 loss and pounded Edmonton 8-1 last Sunday. So they've responded well to big losses.
But again, we get back to the idea, John. It was just interesting, obviously not for the club, but just the way they prepared for the game. They looked ready against Detroit. That's the first time this season we've seen them look ready and not play well. And I think that's the first time that maybe they've questioned themselves, and they don't need that right now as they go towards the playoffs.
17:20 left first period. No score here in Winnipeg. Moulin and long pass behind Rene Corbet on goal. And Roussel fires it out. Not dressed today for the Avalanche. Dave Hannon, Warren Reichel, and Adam Foote. It's his turn to sit out as the Avalanche carries 7 defensemen.
Yeah, it started in Vancouver when Lannon sat out even though he was healthy. They're getting all 7 of the defensemen into 6 out of 7 games as we approach the end.
Lefebvre at center, into Denmark, 3-on-2, the drive on goal, and Roussel made a save on the low shot by Denmark. Lecision back, he'll fire it right back in, and Roussel sets it up. The Avalanche have outshot the Jets 3-0 so far, but there's no score. Curtis Lecision in the corner gets it, but behind the play we get a penalty, and Paul Stewart has made his first call of the afternoon, an interference minor against Joe Sakic. No score here in Winnipeg.
Let me see. Alone on an unexplored planet.
Commander Chakotay is still on the surface and may be injured.
Abandoned by the crew.
Hey! Wait!
To survive, Chakotay must come face to face with his own past.
My people called you the Sky Spirits.
And the ancient powers that control his destiny. Prepare for a mystical Star Trek Voyager.
On UPN 20, Monday night at 7.
Hugh McAddick here with presidential hopeful Mike Hall. Mike, what are your views on McDonald's Filet-O-Fish and McChicken sandwich?
Well, I stand for the... What?
Don't you just love them? And they're on sale. Right now, get 2 Filet-O-Fish or 2 McChickens for $2.
Well, that's great, but America craves change.
That's why I crave them. They're a great change of pace. Or in the morning, get 2 sausage McMuffins with egg for $2.
What about the issues? Issues?
Bless you. The Great American Sandwich Sale for a very short time at McDonald's.
Check out the latest in Avalanche gear at the Sports Gallery in Cherry Creek or the Locker Room stores on the 16th Street Mall and in Colorado Springs. You'll find the best selection of T-shirts, jerseys, jackets, and much more.
John, if you're looking for a magic number in today's game for the Avalanche, that number is 4 goals. So the Avalanche have scored 4 goals in a game. They are 33-1-4 this season, including a perfect 17-0 on the road. So 4 seems to be the number of goals for the Avalanche.
Sakic off for interference at 3:30. The Jets power play 8th overall. The Avalanche penalty killing 7th after allowing 3 power play goals and 9 times short in Detroit. Now Janney for Winnipeg. Up to Numanen. Kachuk trying to dump it in, but Lefebvre is there, and he'll fire it over the glass on the near side, and we get a whistle.
Mike Keane, as you mentioned, is a native of Winnipeg. We met his mom before tonight's game. She was commenting that she watches all the satellite games. Of course, Mike, who played 8 seasons for the Montreal Canadiens, was captain of the Montreal Canadiens. You know, the parents grow up, watch their sons grow up playing on one team. It's as hard for them to see their sons traded because all their alliances are towards the Montreal Canadiens, and now suddenly she has to be a dreaded Quebec Nordique now / Colorado Avalanche fan.
1:15 to go in the Jets power play. No score. We've played 4:15 of the opening period. Numanen, long feed for Kachuk. Oh, tripped up penalty coming up here. Janney works right in, right to center, and tipped away. And now the Avalanche are going to be 2 men short as Kachuk nearly went head over heels.
Well, Keith Kachuk is one of, you know, he's playing here in Winnipeg. He does not get the kind of notoriety that a guy like Lindros, a guy like Primo gets. But here's a kid that is only 22 years old. He's 6'4", 215 pounds, and is tremendously skilled. 43 goals already this season. But, John, he signed a huge contract before this season started with the Chicago Blackhawks for $17 million. $6 million this year. The Jets had the right to match it. They matched it, and they kept their best player. But, boy, that is a huge contract. 5-year deal for Kachuk.
Precision, a tripping minor at 4:29. A 2-man advantage for a minute here. No score. Craig Janney back on the line. Numanen a blast, and Law kicked out the right pad and made a save, and Gusarov will clear it away. The Jets are 2 for 11 on the power play in 2 games against the Avalanche and have a 2-man advantage here. McIver gives it up. Gusarov tried to get to it. Now Forsberg does, and Peter Forsberg will clear it down the ice. Forsberg, apparently, according to everybody who was here back in November, played his best game as a pro in this building in the Avalanche's victory here early in the year.
Yeah, he was spectacular. Goal for assist, and just seemed to have the puck, as he so often does, had it all night long.
Now 15 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Numanen in for Janney. The F-sharp looks to center. Back to Numanen. Now to Janney. Left point McIver. Numanen in deep to Janney. Centers it. Numanen again. And that was blocked by Gusarov as the Avalanche covered the slot very well. And now they get 1 man back. Sakic has returned, so it's a 5-on-4. And the puck comes to center. But great coverage, Peter, in the slot area right in front of the goal.
The Avalanche only had 3 guys on the ice. Janney was trying to find someone open. The Avalanche just keep rotating and taking passing lanes away.
Now Kachuk in for the Jets again. Keane trying to tip it out. He does. And Troy Murray is away. He played here for close to 2 years. Into Keane to a bad angle. But the Jets get back. And Tverdovsky now for Winnipeg. 20 seconds left in Lecision's minor. No score in the first period. Oleg Tverdovsky. Right in front. And Shannon tipped it just by the near post. And the puck cleared by Clem. Outside the line. Brought back in. Offside by Dave Manson.
Well, Dave Manson, he is, you're talking about power forwards. The name that comes up as far as a prototypical player is Cam Neely. You want a Cam Neely type winger. Look at the chance right here. When you're talking about defensemen, tough defensemen, it is number 4, Dave Manson. He's the guy that is tough, he's mean, he does a little extra or something. for his hockey club every night.
I asked Mark Crawford after the 7-0 loss, who was your best player in Detroit? He mentioned John Clem, who was even for the night and is +5 on the road trip.
And +16 for the season, his rookie season in the league. Clem, you know, like Stefan Yell, was not supposed to make this hockey club when this season started, but his play has demanded that he get more ice time.
Well, Sakic has returned, and the Avalanche are back at full strength. There's no score with 13:15 to go in the opening period. Kamensky is in there with Ricci and Deadmarsh, and the Jets shoot it down the ice. No icing here, so Waugh will play it. Clem gets it near side. Up the middle, kept in by Chris King. Hit shot, blocked in front by Clem, and the Avalanche gets the puck out of the zone. King whips it right back in. Now Craig will in, and the veteran up the middle for Ricci. Long feed to Kamensky, blocked at center by Igor Korolev, and he'll dump it in. Still no score. Ozelinch up for Simon. Kept in by Chassé. Denny Chassé now for the Jets. He was taken off the puck by Ozelinch, and then a big hit in the corner by Shannon. McIver on the line. Young trying to clear it out. McIver kept it in. Here's Gusarov now for the Avalanche. Both clubs with good intensity here in the first period. No score. 12:05 to go. Near side. Simon is there for the Avalanche. Sakic knocked down. Simon gets it free. He'll walk in front. Simon the drive, and that hit a leg and carried him to the near corner. Shannon back for Winnipeg. He just sends it down the ice.
And John, on the play previous to this line shift, Korolev was going off the ice. He and Deadmarsh banged into each other. Korolev went right to the Winnipeg dressing room.
Now Newman in back for Winnipeg. 11:30 left, scoreless first period. Here's Curtis Sakic. Passed up the middle for Kamensky. In for Forsberg, 2-on-2. Forsberg looks for an open man. Still with it. Pass on the slot, hit a skate. And the Jets, Janney, deep in his own zone. So right now it's the Janney, Kachuk, Drake line against the Forsberg trio. Sakic kept it in. Now Newman in number 27, and he'll bang it down the ice, and this will be an icing call against the Jets. 10:51 to go, first period. No score here in Winnipeg.
From great peaks that inspire performance to country roads that lead to stardom. From bridges high over sunlit bays to great straight pathways blazing through the heartland. From the mountains to the sea, there's Conoco. With thousands of stations across America, gasolines and motor oils of exceptional quality, and the spirit of hospitality so many have come to count on. It's no wonder Conoco is the hottest brand going.
Okay, boy. Now, just like I taught you, I want you to open the cooler, and I want you to get me an ice-cold Pepsi. Come on, boy. You can do it. Good boy, good boy. Maybe later we'll play Frisbee.
Hey, big boy. You got another one of those for me?
Oh.
You are my
I love this dream.
On April 3rd, the Avalanche take on the Blues. It's Conoco poster night. Be one of the first 10,000 fans through the doors and receive an Adam Deadmarsh poster, courtesy of KYGO and Conoco, the hottest brand going.
Here's the play right here. Korolev just throws the puck in the zone. He gets run into right there by Deadmarsh, and he went off. It was one of those plays, I'm just guessing, that looked like his shoulder was bothering him.
The Jets are missing their best center tonight. Alexei Zhamnov, he's out with back spasms. Also scratched Randy Gillen, Eddie Olczyk, and Craig Muni. We are scoreless. 10:30 left in the opening period. On comes Keane with Yell and Ricci. Tverdovsky back, and a penalty coming up. maybe the Jets are going to get a minor on a similar play to the one that Sakic drew a penalty on.
Good hustle by Stephon Yell. Coach Simpson of the Jets. Interesting situation. John Paddock, the general manager, look at the penalty right here, of the Winnipeg Jets, has been told that he will indeed be the general manager next year when the club moves to Phoenix. The coaching staff has not had the same assurances, so they do not know if they'll be moving with the club down to Phoenix.
Yeah, new owner Richard Berg from Phoenix has said we'll evaluate the coaching staff at the end of the year. And Peter, I know you've been around sports a long time. That does not sound like a ringing endorsement for the coaching staff.
And that's got to be tough. Simpson is a good coach. I think obviously a lot depends on whether to make the playoffs and possibly win a round.
The Avalanche second best in the power play. The Jets are 23rd out of 26 teams. Colorado 1 of 10 in 2 games against the Jets with the man advantage. No score here. Shane Doan is off for holding at 9:38. And the Jets work it up the middle. Avalanche and Gusarov are on defense. So the Avalanche, after allowing 3 shorthanded goals the other night and 20 on the year, are not using Sakic on the point here.
Well, I think it's not Joe Sakic singularly by any stretch of the imagination. But I think it's more of a confidence thing. So they're going with the 2 defensemen back there just to make sure that they don't get another one in tonight's game. Because they've allowed 20. And one thing it does, John, is teams start to know that, and they start to attack you a little more offensively if they know you're vulnerable.
Now 1 minute left here in the power play. No score in the first period. Roussel lifts it up the glass. Lecision gets it in front. Now Lecision on that right point. Into Deadmarsh. It's Deadmarsh, Kamensky, and Ricci up front. Lecision, the shot. And a blocker save by Roussel. Ricci shovels it back for Lefebvre. The drive tipped on goal by Deadmarsh. Good scoring chance there. But Roussel made the save, and the puck cleared over the boards at the Winnipeg bench.
Well, Sylvain Lefebvre takes this shot, and Roussel makes a good save because Deadmarsh in a perfect spot, right side of your screen. He's going to come in just at the right time to get his stick on the puck. Roussel moving out, took away the angle. Remember, John, Sylvain Lefebvre doesn't have a lot of points. 5 goals, 9 assists, 14 points. But he won the hardest shot on the Avalanche when they had the skills competition earlier in the year.
It always gets it low and usually on goal.
And that is the key, because then players know where the puck goes back to Lefebvre, it'll hit the net, get to the front of the net.
8:45 left, first period, no score. Tkachuk dumps it in. 20 seconds left in the Avalanche's power play. Here's Gusarov for Ozolink, back to Gusarov. Korolev is back, and he ties up Gusarov. And a whistle. And a face-off. And talking to the Avalanche coaches before the game, they felt the power play the other night in Detroit too relaxed, not intense enough, and that was part of the reason why they allowed 3 shorthanded goals.
And that's one of the things that Mark Crawford talked about. His club didn't seem to be as intense as they needed to be in a big game like that, because Detroit right now, John, we saw a perfect example of it. They are on top of their game and playing really spectacular hockey. Their record is absolutely no fluke.
You know, Scotty Bowman told us yesterday, we watched Detroit practice, he said it was our best game by far.
Yeah.
So we're not trying to camouflage the fact it was a bad outing, but Detroit was on fire.
Oh, yeah, and they know it, and they were thrilled with their performance.
Teams are back at full strength. 8:05 to go, first period, no score. Shane Doan, a 19-year-old for Winnipeg, failed to clear it out. Scott Young gets it in deep. Now to the far side for Jeff Finley. And he'll whip it off the boards to center. Wolanin sends it right back in. It's been a fairly tight checking first period. The shot 6-3 favoring Colorado. Clem gets it ahead now for Lemieux. Here comes Claude Lemieux. That drive from just outside the line was wide. And McIver back for the Jets. Up to Janney. Forsberg, great play to keep it in. Forsberg plays it off the boards. Now to Clem. He'll walk in, a shot. And that missed the net. Will land into the line. That drive on goal. And Roussel made the save. It was all set up by the skate work the stick work, the brilliance of Forsberg.
Toast. Almost died. Oh, Red Dog. Am I glad to see you, buddy?
Forget it. I ain't bailing you out no more.
But
Step aside, stranger. This don't concern you.
Bold yet uncommonly smooth from Plank Road. A Denver boy has an idea to aid Oklahoma City, and Colorado rallies behind him. The sale of Winter Park is averted, and $2 million a year goes to Denver's parks. A Rocky takes one downtown, and the whole state cheers. As Coloradans, we are all connected, which is why the Denver Post will keep delivering to all the Rocky Mountain region. And we're the only paper that can say that. The Denver Post. We stand for Colorado. Buy 6 months, get 6 months free. Call 832-3232 for guaranteed 6 a.m. delivery.
No score, first period here in Winnipeg.
Just as you mentioned, John, the brilliance of Forsberg. But watch this little play along the boards. I've never seen anyone do this. Forsberg bounce the puck off the boards to himself so he can roll his body so the defenseman can't move in. He bought himself a little time by bouncing it off the boards.
Like a Wayne Gretzky, he's thinking 2 moves ahead of your opponent.
Certainly a couple extra moves ahead of me. I had no idea what he was doing.
Now the aft center it, but Chris King is there for the Jets. And it's tipped over the boards by Lecision right at the Winnipeg bench. And talking to Chris King, their captain, before the game, the Jets have been lame ducks all year because they're moving to Phoenix. And he said it really has affected our team because everywhere we go, we're called lame ducks.
Yeah, and the thing about it is this is the second year in a row it's happened. Last year at this time, they thought they were moving to Minneapolis. It was a done deal. There was a lot of emotion. And then all of a sudden, that deal falls through. They've got to come back and play in Winnipeg. They're sold to Phoenix. During this season, the fans here in Winnipeg have been absolutely shafted by this whole situation. And really, the fact that they're coming out at all is a real credit to their love of hockey.
And today a sellout, the second consecutive sellout in a row. They sold out the other night against the Flyers. No score, 6:35 left in the opening period. Corbeil is in there with Murray and Denmark. But the Jets up the near side, and the rookie Chad Gilbert tips it out. Here's Lynch in a hurry back to get it. And we have another penalty and perhaps another interference call away from the puck.
Interesting. Now, I think it was about 10 days ago, the referees got another reminder to keep calling the obstruction. Watch right in the middle of the screen, Willanen. He doesn't seem to do a lot, but he does get in the way of the Jet player, and it will be called interference, but on the official scorecard, it's going to be obstruction interference. And that's our third obstruction call here in the first period. All 3 penalties have been obstruction.
2 minutes and 13:41, and the Jets will get their third power play. There's a look at Terry Simpson, former coach of the Islanders and Flyers.
Yeah, it's got to be tough, John, to be sitting in a situation where you know that you absolutely have to make the playoffs if you want to keep your job, and maybe even have to win a round against, which will be a very, very good hockey club, probably Detroit or Colorado.
The Jets with their third power play of the afternoon, no score. John Clem trying to clear it out. Clem harassed in there, knocked away by Dallas, straight back on the line, a shot, and Walk kicked it out, and Gutherov will clear it up the boards to Keane, near the line. Janney kept it in for Winnipeg. Newman into the corner for Tkachuk. Gutherov tries the far side again, and this time it goes by McIver and down the ice. Norm McIver and Teppo Numminen are the point men. Up front, it's Tkachuk with Drake and Janney. Again, this line was on fire. They had all 4 goals in the 4-1 victory Friday against the Flyers. Drake centers it, but the Avalanche break it up, and Sakic forwards back to center, short-handed. Sakic in on McIver, went to pull the trigger, now gets it again. He'll walk in front. Sakic shot, he scores! Joe Sakic, a great move, a short-handed goal, and the Avalanche take a 1-0 lead.
You know, John, I guarantee you most players in this they would have dumped it down the ice. Watch number 19, Sakic, get it right here, and boom, he just explodes. And I think Winnipeg sort of thought, well, he's just going to get it down the ice, but no, Sakic with that quickness and speed just took off. And here was the second effort. Sakic walks out front, he's being pulled down. There was going to be a penalty called on the play. But this is just one of the best individual efforts of the season. Right here, the hard work, speed, finesse of number 19, Captain Joe Sakic.
His 44th of the year, 5th shorthanded goal, unassisted. At 14:41, the Avalanche tops in the league with 18 shorthanded goals.
Sort of a strange combination of things for the Avalanche. They lead the league in shorthanded goals, and they lead the league in shorthanded goals against. So they're just the kind of club that
they make it exciting, right, Peter?
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's Tverdovsky. He was tripped up, and Gusarov now with 30 seconds to go in the Wolanin minor, trying to clear it. Kept in. Here is Dave Manson. Gets it back. The drive, and a save by Wall with the right pad. And broken up by Yell, and he'll clear it by Tverdovsky. 4:30 to go. Here's Yella, steal in the zone, and a quick shot. And Roussel made the save. Still 1-0 for the Avalanche. Now Korolev in for Winnipeg. Igor Korolev to Stapleton. Cuts behind the net. Centers it all. Shannon was wrong. At the doorstep by Wall. What a save there by Patrick Wall on Darren Shannon. Wolanin has returned. Here's Shannon again. Slap shot. That was high and off the glass. The Avalanche back at full strength. Here's Kamensky, steals it around Finley. Cuts right in. And a save by Roussel as Kamensky didn't get much of a shot away. Played in deep by Lemieux. 3:50 left first period. 1-0 for the Avalanche on Joe Sakic's 44th of the year shorthanded at 14:41. Here's Wolanin in his own zone. Now Lemieux, pass on to Simon. 3-on-3 into the offensive end. He'll get the puck to the corner. Newman in around the board. Sakic takes out his man, Shane Doan. Now Doan back for Newman. Lost it. Sakic wide open. He scores! Backhander there, and it's 2-0.
Well, all season long we've been talking about the wrist shot, but always in the forehand at Sakic. But here, on a turnover by the Winnipeg Jets, they just fanned on the puck right there. It looked for a second like Sakic might stop and move the puck across to Simon, but instead he wheels and just beats Roussel to the far side. It was an evenly played first 15 minutes of this hockey game. Suddenly explodes on 2 unassisted goals by Joe Sakic.
And it's 2-0, number 45 on the year. This one comes at 16:42.
The high water mark as far as goals for Sakic is 48. Of course, he would love to hit that magic number 50. The Avalanche have 8 games remaining after today.
So it's 2-0 for Colorado. Teams at full strength as Tkachuk now in for Winnipeg. Pete Tkachuk for Drake. Forced to the corner by a Lecision. Now Tkachuk again. Looks to center. Drake sends it back on the line. Tverdovsky. A shot! Oh, tipped on goal by Tkachuk, and Wall is sharp again. And he hangs on. So it's been the Sakic show today. He's got a pair unassisted, and the Avalanche lead 2-0.
A terrorist group takes an entire police precinct hostage.
We could have a bloodbath on our hands.
And only one cop can stop them.
Stop your weapon!
A cop who uses all 5 of his senses like weapons.
Now you can get your head blown off.
Now, with every move, you'll feel the suspense building and building and building.
We're all gonna die!
Right to the finish.
What the hell was that?
Hold on tight. Oh my God. The Sentinel.
On UPN 20, Wednesday night at 7.
Hey, Colorado, the Old West is alive and well at Colorado Central Station Casino. Blackhawks' first and largest entertainment facility, and an official sponsor of the Colorado Avalanche. Colorado Central Station Casino has home ice advantage in Blackhawk with over 500 free valet parking spaces, daily entertainment, and much, much more. Take Highway 119 west to Blackhawk. Turn left at the first signal and shoot into the free valet parking lot. Score a hat trick every night at Colorado Central Station Casino.
In the Wings for Kids program, United Airlines will donate $100 worth of airline travel to the Ronald McDonald House every time an Avalanche winger scores a goal. And coming into today, the Wings have raised $14,500 for the program. Wings for Kids, sponsored by United Airlines and the Denver Post. A sellout crowd, close to 16,000 on hand, and the Avalanche lead it 2-0. Goals from Sakic at 14:41 shorthanded, and then Sakic again at 16:42. Both goals unassisted, and the Avalanche have outshot the Jets 11-8. Mike Keane will take this face-off against the rookie Chad Kilger. And Keane wins it for Ozelinch. Deadmarsh fires it out. It's Deadmarsh, Murray, and now Corbet replaces Keane, who was on the ice for the face-off. Kilger in for Winnipeg. Kilger back on the line, and a shot by Manson never got through. Kilger left it in the corner for McKenzie. Back to the goal. Chassé back in the slot area, and that was shot wide by McKenzie. Murray takes out his man, Chassé. And Ozelinch up the wing, trying to work it out. Finally picked up by Murray. Now Corbet near his own bench. Avalanche up 2-0. 2 minutes left here in the opening period. Jim McKenzie, the ex-Whaler. Wrist shot, and Waugh made the save. And he'll cover up with the Jets. Dallas Drake in there, sniffing for a rebound. Patrick Waugh has controlled his rebounds very well in this game. Normally he likes to move the puck, but on that occasion he kept it, and we get a face-off. You know, Patrick does something out of habit. He writes his kids' names on his stick before every game. His sons Jonathan and Frederick, and his daughter Janney writes all three of the kids' names on his goal stick before every game for good luck. Up 2-0. 1:40 left in the opening period, and now behind the play we get a whistle as Ricci was involved with Kachuk, and somebody's going to get a holding minor. Kachuk a big hit on Clem, and then Ricci comes in. And right there, when you get your hand off your stick and put it around an opponent, more than likely, you're going to get called. Holding the call at 18:23, although Ricci has a unique way of every time he gets a penalty, he has an innocent look on his face and a look of disbelief. Well, Mark Crawford's club will be shorthanded for the 4th time in the game. And the Jets have 4 shots on their first 3 power plays. McIver from the left point. Keane went down to block that. Avalanche up 2-0 here, but shorthanded. McIver in for Drake. McIver back to Manson. That drive was blocked by Keane. Janney sends it in front. McIver again. Drake missed it back of the goal. Janney in front. Kachuk. His shot was blocked, and the Avalanche will send it down the ice. 1:10 to go in the period. Jets on a power play, down by 2. Here's McIver. Up for Dave Manson. McIver will drill the puck in from center. Kachuk is there, now to Janney. He's a tremendous playmaker now for Drake. Clem comes in for the Avalanche, trying to clear it out. Janney gets it behind the goal now. Lecision, far side. Kachuk whips it back on the point for Manson. Here's Janney. He gave it up, and the Avalanche will clear it with 30 seconds to go in the period. 2-0 here for Colorado, and Yell is there. He'll dump it in. So again, very good penalty killing by the Avalanche. Terodowski leads the Jets to center ice. Keane slowed up the onrushing Jets, and now it comes back to Finley. Near side to Shannon. Lefebvre is there. And now Yell is back 2-on-2, short-handed. Yell and Keane, they can't get a shot, and time is going to run out in the first period. So the Avalanche, following a 7-0 loss, they come to play this afternoon in Winnipeg, and they get a pair of unassisted goals from Joe Sakic, his 44th of the year at 14:41, and then Sakic again, number 45 at 16:42. So a fabulous first period by the Avalanche, and they lead 2-0. Coming up, Peter McNabb will visit live with assistant coach Joel Quenneville here in Winnipeg, where the Avalanche lead it 2-0 after 1.
Available at Guard Sports. The Avalanche is a hard-hitting team. So is 4.8% APR on 48-month financing or $600 cash back during the Mercury Smart Money Sale. The Avalanche is a team of all-stars. So are your Mercury dealers, with Mercury Mystique and the all-new Mercury Sable Automobile Magazine All-Stars for $19.96. The Avalanche is a team of winners, and now so are you during the Smart Money Sale. Your Denver Metro Mercury dealers are proud sponsors of the Colorado Avalanche.
Sure, you can change your own oil, if you're so inclined. Meanwhile, at Grease Monkey, they'll change your oil and filter, lubricate your chassis, check your vital fluids, wash your windows, and vacuum your interior, all in about 10 minutes. Grease Monkey. We keep big drips off of driveways.
Fact. Today's college graduate will have 4 careers. Each day, 10,000 baby boomers turn 50. Ketchup is being outsold by salsa. Your whole world is changing. And while a lot of banks haven't woken up to that fact, one has. Key. We have investment management for the little guy. Fast business banking, even on weekends. Teller machines that pay you for using them, and a commitment to keep up with America's changes. Key for a new America.
Well, a very good first period for the Avalanche here in Winnipeg. They lead it 2-0, a pair of unassisted goals by Joe Sakic, numbers 45, 44, and 45. Peter McNabb is downstairs with assistant coach Joel Quenneville.
Thank you, John. And obviously a very good period, the first period here in Winnipeg tonight for the Avalanche. Your thoughts, Joel, on the first period?
Well, I thought we did a good job initially taking the body. We had 3 or 4 real solid hits right off the bat and got ourselves into the game. And I thought our penalty killing was extremely good. The 5-on-3, usually you kill those off, you're pretty well set for the rest of the game.
Tough game against Detroit. I hate to bring that game up, but you know, a lot of your responsibility is with the defense. What was your thoughts and talking to them before tonight's game?
Well, I think we had 2 meetings with the guys. One yesterday about being ready for a game that was important against Detroit, and also today, this morning, we had a meeting with our specialty teams because that's where they scored 6 goals. I think we talked shorthanded goals against is a concern of ours. Tonight we put 2D on the point. We gave up 3 power play goals. They're kind of unusual goals. One was a 4-on-3 and one was late in the game. So I think tonight we did a good job addressing the penalty killing. We haven't had much power play time, but we think specialty teams down the end of the season is very crucial, and we are concerned about that.
Not to jump too far ahead, but you've got a couple of games coming up this week and then 5 days off. What are you looking to do during those 5 days off to prepare this club for the final, part of the season in the playoffs?
Well, we're going to give the guys 3 days of rest. We had a week where we had the 1 game in 8 days, where we worked the guys 2 days. They had a good bike workout or strength workout and a practice, and we figured that was our good conditioning time of the season for us. And then the end of the month where we played a big workload this week and then a couple on Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to give the guys 3 days off, get them rest, get ready and prepared for the playoffs, and then we'll have 2 good practices before we play the last few games.
One guy that I don't think will get much time off is Yui Krupp, and it's exciting for us to have watched him and how he seems to be coming along. Just how close, or are we getting our hopes up too high to see Krupp back this season?
Well, we're all hopeful. I think we got a good chance to see Yui by the end of the season. He's out here working with us in the mornings. He's skating extremely well. He's passing the puck great. He looks ready. He's eager. And each and every day he's getting better and better. And I think he's closer, and we're hopeful that he can play a few games and give us, 8 guys that'll be ready to play for us in the playoffs.
Well, Joel, thank you very much. Continued success for the rest of the season and into the playoffs, and I hope it's a long run in the playoffs. We'll be back in Winnipeg.
This is the United Paramount Network, UPN 20, KTVD-TV, Denver.
One universe, 2 Voyagers. Which one will survive? It's a mind-boggling Star Trek Voyager.
On UPN 20, tonight at 7.
You'll love our approach at the Stouffer Renaissance Hotel. Free transportation to and from the airport, just 20 minutes away. Luxurious accommodations, gourmet dining, and flexible meeting space. Stouffer Renaissance Hotel. Still the quality choice. Call 1-800-HOTELS-WHY. Hey kids, get in the game free with King Soopers Pepsi Youth Nights. Check out the Super Sports Center, where kids under 12 can see the Colorado Avalanche and the Denver Nuggets for free. Purchase any specially marked Pepsi 12-pack at your local King Super store to get your Youth Nights coupon. Get 2 kids tickets free with an adult purchase to select games. Catch all of the NHL action with the Mighty Ducks, and don't miss the NBA Dunks with the Milwaukee Bucks. Youth Nights brought to you by King Soopers, Pepsi, and Cool 105.
Blockbuster.
That was a great romance.
Yeah?
I'm not ashamed to say I cried at the end. But comedy's good. My friends say I'm a pretty funny guy.
Really?
So, do you want to pick up some movies, get together later?
You want to get together with me tonight and have some fun? Here, arms, legs, abs, and buns. Call me when you catch your breath.
Come to Blockbuster Video. Check out our huge selection and pick up the Claudia Schiffer Workout Series. Make it a Blockbuster night.
After 20 minutes of play here in Winnipeg, our matinee, the Avalanche with a 2-0 lead. Both goals from Joe Sakic, unassisted in the opening frame. Let's take a look at today's first period stats brought to you by the Colorado Lottery. Wednesday's Lotto jackpot, $10 million. The shots on goal, 12-9 for the Avalanche. Both clubs misfired on their power plays. And obviously the key was the Avalanche killed off a Jets 5-on-3 power play advantage before they got the shorthanded goal by Sakic. So it's 2-0 Avalanche after 1 here in Winnipeg. We're back with more right after this.
With a newly enhanced Vortec 4300 V6 engine and available push-button 4-wheel drive, the GMC Jimmy can handle virtually anything you might encounter on the road. But you may appreciate Jimmy even more for its ability to get you out of your own driveway. The snow is coming. Get prepared at your Colorado GMC truck dealer.
The Colorado Avalanche are proud to make Denver their home. Show that you're proud of the home team by carrying the Colorado Avalanche Affinity MasterCard. This no annual fee credit card features the cutting-edge Avalanche logo, as well as a low introductory annual percentage rate for cash advances and balance transfers. You'll have access to instant cash at over 12 million locations worldwide, along with customer service awaiting your call 24 hours a day. To apply, call by phone 1-800-780-5561 and get your card today.
Chair 16, we're going underground at Vale. The top. We're going to the back balls. Woo! Deep stuff. Let's go. Sassy. These are the Glades. 7 miles. Say hello, Glades. China Bowl. Right in your backyard. This goes to Lion's Head. This goes to another zip code. Cruiser. Chair 10. Bumps. Yummy! Chow time. Girlfriend. Chair 8. Chair 3. Chair 2. Beer number 1. Yummy!
Toast. Almost died. Oh, my Red Dog. Am I glad to see you, buddy?
Forget it. I ain't bailing you out no more.
But Step aside, stranger. This don't concern you.
Bold yet uncommonly smooth from Plank Road.
No problem. A good start to this one for the Avalanche. They lead it 2-0 after 20 minutes of play here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And welcome back with Peter McNabb. I'm John Kelly. The Avalanche forced a couple of turnovers in the Jet zone and cashed in, Peter.
They played better defensively. They came out with they're more physical, and the turnovers. One was created by just the hard work down low. The other one, Sakic crossed his rear end to get to the other end, but good hard working period by the Avalanche.
And Joel Quenneville made a good point. They killed off the 5-on-3 and really wanted to come in focused today on the special teams, and they did.
Yeah, because the specialty teams had killed them in Detroit. They allowed 6 of the 7 goals came either shorthanded or on the power play. So the team wanted us focused, and it seemed just from seeing them down there, between periods, the club was very, very intense.
And they get the only 2 goals and lead it by 2 after 1. Sakic got it shorthanded at 14:41, and that another goal by Joe Sakic, also unassisted, at 16:42.
And this is a very aggressive play by Sakic on this first goal. Now the puck comes out, and he just takes off down the ice. And again, Decision joining the play. The guys that joined the play helped set this up, because that forced McIver to take Sakic on one-on-one. And Sakic right there, the little second effort comes up front. He's pulled down. There's going to be a penalty call, but Sakic just would not be denied as he picked up his 44th goal of the season. Just falling down. That is a highlight beauty by number 19, Joey Sakic. And the second one is just a bad play by number 27, Newman, and he has the puck right here, and he just fans. He's going up the middle, just a quick, simple pass, but Sakic on the backhand with his 45th on his way to a 50-goal season. But Sakic, the captain, comes up big when the club needs it here with 2 goals in the first period. Right here, see Newman, and he just, there's not much you can say in a situation like that. And here's Sakic's shot.
It looked like Newman lost his balance and fell down a bit.
Yeah, he was just stumbling, the puck falling off his stick. That was not a highlight moment for Newman.
Well, Peter, we talked early in the game about how the Avalanche would react following the 7-0 loss, and that's a good sign how they played in that first period.
Everybody played better. Patrick Waugh made a great save right at the end of the power play, save off of Shannon, a leg save, a nice pass from Stapleton, and the club killed, as Joel said, killed off the penalties, did everything right, everything better in that first period.
This is the first of a home-and-home series. The Jets are in Denver on Wednesday. So far, the Avalanche can smile. They lead it 2-0 after 1.
A terrorist group takes an entire police precinct hostage.
We could have a bloodbath on our hands.
And only one cop can stop them.
Drop your weapon!
A cop who uses all 5 of his senses like weapons.
Now he's gonna get your head blown off.
Now, with every move, you'll feel the suspense building. And building. And building.
We're all gonna die!
Right to the finish.
What the hell was that?
Hold on tight. Oh my God. The Sentinel.
On UPN 20, Wednesday night at 7.
Hey, kids, anyone can dress like a pro, but contrary to popular belief, it's not the shoes that improve your game. It takes hard work and practice. That's why we're introducing the Denver Nuggets Youth Basketball Camp, coming this summer at South High School. Learn the fundamentals from Brian Stiff, Tom Hammond, or Antonio McDyess. The camps are open to boys and girls, 8 through high school seniors. For details, call 893-6700. The Denver Nuggets Youth Basketball Camp. We're gonna work your tail off.
icy, my skin's chapped and feels painfully dry.
But science sees a thirst for healing moisture in the restoring power of vitamins, lipids, and alpha-hydroxy. So today, science introduces the new Vaseline Intensive Care Lotion. At last, 3 extraordinary ingredients in 1 breakthrough formula that heals dryness for a full 12 hours.
See? It feels so smooth. Now I know my dry skin is healed.
New Vaseline Intensive Care Lotion, the science of healthy skin.
We have a Buddy Burger, funny fries, and a large Pepsi. No, that's a Buddy Burger. What? Forget the burger. All I really want is a Pepsi. 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 Yeah. Thank you. Need to get the intercom fixed.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Key Bank, the proud and exclusive banking sponsor of the Avalanche. With Peter McNabb, John Kelly back in Winnipeg after 1. The Avalanche lead it 2-0.
Patrick Waugh, solid period, handled the puck well, made the one big key save. The difference really in this period, that first period, his big save, Roussel couldn't make the big save in 2 plays by Sakic. There's Dominic Roussel, now in his 4th game since coming over to the Philadelphia Flyers for Tim Cheveldae and a 3rd-round pick.
And certainly the Jets defensively need to improve. 22nd in the league, allowing 260 goals this year. Our face-off is brought to you by Red Dog. You are your own dog.
The Jets have not been a bad club offensively, but it has been just the defensive play. They're playing their own zone that has cost them this season.
Now 15 seconds left in Ricci's minors, so the Jets on a power play to begin the second. They trail by 2. It's dumped in by Janney. Kachuk, the first man there. Forced to the far side by Woolen, and now back in the goal in front. Oh, what a save there on Drake by Patrick Waugh. Bang, bang play. And Drake was robbed by Waugh. Ricci is back on, so the Avalanche have killed it off. Now Janney works it back into the zone. Drake dropped pass, but Ricci was there. And Mike Ricci gets free at center and dumps it in.
John, it was interesting. I'll have to ask Patrick after the game. Paul Stewart went by and said something to Patrick Waugh after that save.
Now the Jets center probably. Great save again.
Yeah, exactly. Knowing Stewie, he probably said exactly that. Nice save, way to go, big guy. Something along those lines.
Now Lemieux steals it at center. Wrist shot, and that was wide. The goaltender Dominic Roussel, and the Jets cleared out. 1:15 gone, second period. The Avalanche up 2-0. Here's Dave Manson. Over for Shannon up the middle to Mike Stapleton. In with Korolev. Stapleton, a shot right on. Save by Waugh. And the rebound picked up by Kamensky. He tries to clear it and does. Fired back in by Stapleton as the Jets make a change on the fly. Now Forsberg in deep. He walks around Eastwood like he was standing still, and here comes Forsberg into Simon. Broken up in the Jets line, and Doan now for Winnipeg. Shane Doan's pass too far for Eastwood, who's taken out by Clem. And Young working back in his own zone. Now Scott Young, his club is up 2-0. Roussel will play it, and now hang on with Simon looking for a rebound.
Well, Dominic Roussel just fell out of... It didn't fall out of favor in Philadelphia. What happened was Hextall was there. Garth Snow came over from the Colorado Avalanche, and Snow has played very well. So Roussel became expendable, was actually playing in the American Hockey League affiliate for the Philadelphia Flyers, and was looking to get back into the league. Here's that save by Waugh that drew a response from Paul Stewart after the puck was shot down to the end of the ice. That's about the third save Patrick Waugh has made on a bang-bang play from behind the goal. That seems to be one of the areas of strength for the Jets. They move that puck out, especially with Janney and Stapleton. Move that puck out quickly to the guys in front.
Now 2:20 gone in the second period. The Avalanche with a 2-0 lead. Both goals by Sakic. Seppo Newman in for Winnipeg. Clem racing back. Taken out by Kachuk. Big hit there. And the puck comes free, and now Ricci. In the first period, Forsberg's line went up against the Janney unit, the Jets' top line, but now Ricci is on against this line. Here's Wolanin back in his own zone. And it's tipped out by Yale. Peter, as you know, the Jets have the last change. I'm not sure if the Avalanche or the Jets have made a change in that matchup. Now a break here, Doan. Right in! Oh, what a save again by Patrick Waugh on a 2-1-0 break. Shane Doan was in cold turkey, and what a save there by Waugh. Back come the Jets now. Eastwood into the near side for Manson. Slap shot, and a good save again by Waugh. King in the corner for Eastwood behind the goal. Forced off the puck by Lecision. Now King again. He and Lefebvre battle for it. And Lefebvre gets it ahead for Young on a Sakic. Left it for Simon. Can't go around Manson. Now plays it in deep behind the net. Young comes in looking for the puck. Here's Young and Sakic in the corner. They try to center one, but the Jets break it up. Can't clear it. Lefebvre held it in. And now it is lifted out by McIver. What a big save again moments ago by Waugh.
Dome had the option to pass it to Eastwood, but he made a good shot. He walked in, did everything well. Patrick Waugh just took the shot away.
4 minutes gone here in the second period. Still 2-0 for the Avalanche. Now the Jets Stapleton looks to center. Back on the line, but it's got by Dallas Eakins. And now it's stolen at center by Denmark. In at a bad angle, right in front of the goal. Murray missed it, so did Corbet, and a Jets counter. Shannon down the near side. Plays one to the far corner. Stapleton and Denmark hunt for the puck. Goes behind the goal. The Jets' Korolev is there. He and Ozolin's battle. Here, and Shannon gets it free. He was pounded by Denmark. Now Stapleton comes in for Winnipeg. Korolev back of the goal in front, but Ozolin's was there. The Jets have controlled play here in the second, but still trail 2-0. Tverdovsky picks it up for Winnipeg. He was picked up in that trade for Solani from Anaheim. Turned over by Kamensky. And Clem is on the puck. Clem a wrist shot, and Roussel made a blocker save. Lemieux looks to center. Here's Kamensky again. In front to Lemieux. On the backhand. Centers it, but the Jets break it up. And then Kachuk was caught down. And a penalty called here against the Avalanche. So the Jets, down 2-0, will get their 5th power play of the day. We're back to Winnipeg.
A terrorist group takes an entire police precinct hostage.
We could have a bloodbath on our hands.
And only one cop can stop them.
Drop your weapon!
A cop who uses all 5 of his senses, like weapons.
Now he's gonna get your head blown off.
Now, with every move, you'll feel the suspense building. And building. And building.
We're all gonna die!
Right to the finish.
What the hell was that?
Hold on tight.
Oh my God.
The Sentinels.
On UPN 20, Wednesday night at 7.
Fact. Today's college graduate will have 4 careers. Each day, 10,000 baby boomers turn 50. Ketchup is being outsold by salsa. Your whole world is changing. And while a lot of banks haven't woken up to that fact, one has. Key. We have investment management for the little guy. Fast business banking even on weekends. Teller machines that pay you for using them. And a commitment to keep up with America's changes. Key. For a new America.
14:33 to go, second period. The Avalanche lead it 2-0.
Line change for the Avalanche results on the quick 2-on-0 break, and Dome walked in. Beautiful read by Patrick Waugh. There's the penalty right there. Kamensky pulls the man down from behind, and another power play opportunity for the Winnipeg Jets.
The Jets are 0 for 4 with the power play today. They had 2 power play goals Friday in the 4-1 victory against the Flyers. Again, that win against Philly broke a 6-game winless streak. Prior to that, they had won 5 in a row. So they've been a Jekyll and Hyde club the last month.
Yeah, in those 6 games they didn't win, they're 0-5-1. They only scored 10 goals. So the offense wasn't there. Tkachuk had been out of the lineup, so him getting back in the lineup after 2 games suspension was a big boost last game against Philly.
The Jets trail 2-0 on a power play. Tkachuk near side. Keane stole it. Stolen back by Winnipeg. Janney now behind the goal for Drake. Janney is there in front, but Keane was in the proper position for the Avalanche. Now to Lefebvre. And he's got lots of time, and he'll clear it up the boards, but not out. And now worked again by Lefebvre near the line, but again it's kept in by Winnipeg. Tkachuk and Rouen battle behind the goal. Here's Janney. Tkachuk right in front, and finally swept away by Rouen. 50 seconds to go on the power play. Winnipeg trailing 2-0. Now Sakic. Remember, he's got a short-handed goal in this game. Here's Janney's pass, blocked by Forsberg. He was hammered by Shannon, who gets the puck. Shannon right in, and that shot blocked by Lecision. And Forsberg falling down, clears it out. Now 25 left in the Winnipeg power play. Here's Tverdovsky. Slides it down the ice. Waugh will play it up the glass. Tverdovsky there for Winnipeg. Lecision checked him. Now the Jets get it back again in the corner. Shannon on the line to Manson. The drive, and that grazed the outside of the left goal post. Now Korolev again. Avalanche back at full strength. Shannon centers at Kaminsky. Out of the box, races back to center with Sakic. Here comes Kaminsky, works right in, and he fanned on the shot. As Sakic going to net was held up, but there was no call. Now Korolev for Winnipeg. Igor Korolev stops and fires one on goal, and Rama saving back from the Avalanche. They lead 2-0. Young a drive from outside the line, and Roussel knocked that away. It's tipped back, and King is after it. Here comes Chris King. Right in, and Waugh again. The butterfly made the save, and the Avalanche start back.
And Patrick Waugh just playing a very simple game tonight. Get the puck in front of him, make the save.
And now Roussel is forced to make a pretty good stop on Mike Ricci. So the goaltending, especially Waugh, has been very good in the second period, and the Avalanche maintain a 2-0 lead.
I'm gonna die. Toast. Oh, Red Dog. Am I glad to see you, buddy?
Forget it. I ain't bailing you out no more.
But
Step aside, stranger. This is not to concern you.
Bold yet uncommonly smooth from Plank Road.
Hey, Denver, I'm coaching the new sports leader in town.
Sports Radio 95, The Fan.
All sports all the time.
AM 950. Back out the fun for the runner from 10.
Here's the Nuggets on The Fan. AM 950.
The Fan is the home of the Avalanche.
And us two stiffs.
Doug Moe and Tom Green. Weekday afternoons 3 to 7 on Sports Radio 95, The Fan.
The Avalanche are taking hockey to the streets. Metro area kids have the chance to participate and learn the game of hockey in the new Nike NHL Street Avalanche program. Call 1-800-929-PLAY for our program center near you.
The offense much better for the Avalanche in tonight's game. They have 16 shots on goal. That's one more than they had the whole game against Detroit.
There's a drive by Lefebvre, and Roussel will hold on. Yeah, the 15 shots against the Red Wings, a season low for Colorado.
Yeah, and it was a tremendous defensive performance by Detroit. The shot breakdown for periods was 6, 6, and then 3. They just got better as the game went along.
11:40 left here, second period. The Avalanche up 2-0 as they've outshot the Jets 17-15. Both goals by Sakic, unassisted in the first period. Lecision, good pass on to Forsberg, gets by a man. Here's Forsberg in front of the near shot. He scores! Oh, what a play by Forsberg!
beautiful play by Forsberg. One of the things that separates good players from great players is the ability to take a pass. And right here, Forsberg shows you a perfect example. Right there, he just kicks it forward with his right foot, pulls it on. But credit Lemieux. Watch the touch of Lemieux as he just pops it up over the short side shoulder. And it was a perfect shot off the goalpost. And Claude Lemieux continues his roll to 40-goal season, which would be his second in his career.
His 37th of the year. His 9th goal in his last 13 games. He gets it at 8:40 from Peter Forsberg and Curtis Lecision. So the Avalanche take a 3-0 lead, and now Roussel decides to hang on. That's a big goal by Lemieux because the Jets were coming on in the second period. Yeah, the Jets had a much better first 10 minutes or 9 minutes in the second period than they did in the first period. But now, John, also, that forces the Jets, who aren't that solid defensively, to open things up. And that Forsberg line with Lemieux, he already has the goal. It's interesting to watch the chemistry between players, Lemieux and Forsberg. You know, two very, very different personalities. You can't be any shyer than Forsberg. You can't be any more outspoken than Lemieux. And yet they're line mates and seemingly very good friends. Yeah, you're right. Opposites on and off the ice. Here's Clem. Great pass into Corbet. Can't get a shot. 10:50 left here in the second. Now Denmarsh tried to work in front. Nearly did. Took a slash. And we get a penalty here. I think it's on the Jets defenseman Manson.
And I'll tell you, Denmarsh is feeling that one. Right there. He just completely lost control of the puck because watch number 4, Manson, right there. Boom. Right across the hands and arm of Denmarsh. And Denmarsh just immediately. And this is a tough kid. He does not like to show anybody that he's hurt, but he just, right now, he's a hurting puppy.
Slashing at 9:18 in the Avalanche. Only their second power play of the afternoon.
This is where those specialty clubs teams can have dramatic impact on a game. The Avalanche have killed off all of their power plays against them. Now they get a chance to make it a 4-goal game.
Here's Lemieux, who got that last goal from Forsberg and Lecision to make it 3-0. Now Forsberg back for Gusarov. Here's Forsberg again. In front to Ozolin, the one-timer, and he scuffed it toward the goal, and Roussel will hold it.
The one thing about Peter Forsberg is very interesting. A lot of his passes, Forsberg's passes, start on the heel of his stick, and he feathers them across, heel to toe. A lot of guys will get the puck right on the toe of their stick and snap the pass. Forsberg throws one of the softest passes you'll ever see, but the puck starts from the heel and sort of rolls up his stick.
10:23 to go in the second. The Avalanche on their second power play, and they lead 3-0. Of course, these teams will play the rematch Wednesday at Big Mac in Denver.
But before that game, that rematch, Winnipeg goes to Dallas on Tuesday night, so they're coming in a tired hockey club, which again, that's a big advantage in this league.
Now Ozolin on the power play. 1:25 to go in the man advantage. Back to Gusarov, far side to Sakic. Oh, Forsberg was wide open, but the pass never got through. And the Jets break his back, and he'll dump it in deep. Avalanche on a power play. 9:50 left, second period. Alexei Gusarov. Ozolin will dump it in. Sakic near side. Now back for Gusarov. Near wing for Scott Young. Sends it back, Gusarov. And that shot was tipped, and it went into the crowd. And look out behind the Jet goal.
Right down the runway, with the opening where the fans were coming up. And some poor guy was just coming up with a load of goodies. And it just about took his head off.
You think that's funny?
Oh, if you see him, he just hit the turf.
What a mean-spirited guy you are.
We haven't
the guy just spent $50 at the concession stand, and you're laughing. 9:34 to go, second period. The Avalanche lead it 3-0.
Gooserev, interesting. He's on a termination contract. Even at 31 years old, he's a total free agent without compensation at the end of this season. Be interesting to see what that does for his market value.
Well, he's having a heck of a year. Plus 26 on the season. That's the second best plus-minus on the team.
And remember, again, he went through waivers at the start of the season. A lot of clubs, every club, misread the ability of Gooserev.
Now 25 left in the power play. Decision going back again. Today, the Avalanche are not using a forward back on the point on the power play. Young dumps it in. Here's Kamensky. Kicks it to the corner. Kachuk for the Jets trying to get it, but reaching. Back on the line to Wolanin. The blast! And a pad save by Roussel. And the Jets Drake clears it out. Winnipeg back at full strength. They've killed it off, but trail 3-0. Young trying to get it. Had a stick held by Drake. And now Manson is on the move. Dave Manson. Shot it. That missed the glove of Wad. May have hit the goalpost.
John, remember, it was Manson who won the hardest shot contest at the All-Star game. So this guy fires rockets.
Teams are at full strength. Wolanin steals it. And back on the Avalanche 4-on-3. Adam Denmarsh can't center it as Jeff Finley blocked it. And now the Jets start out. Janney on to Drake into Kachuk. But Wolanin came across and made a good play. Now Newman gets it. Right in front. They score! Craig Janney knocked it in. And it's 3-1.
Janney was left all alone in front of the net. And a nice pass through traffic. Patrick Waugh almost got control of that puck, but Janney stayed with it, took the check, and pops it up over, picks up his third goal in the last couple of games. And this line, again, for the Winnipeg Jets, ignites them offensively.
Janney had 2 goals and 2 assists in their last game of 4-1 win. He gets his 16th of the year, 3rd with the Jets. And that cuts the Avalanche lead to 3-1. The goal at 12:06.
And the penalty killing for Winnipeg. Right after they kill a penalty, they come out and get a goal. So instead of 4-0, game over, it's 3-1. They're back in it.
Now Manson for Winnipeg. He'll dump it in. Rosalench, the first man there, and icing called against the Jets. Newman and Kachuk get the assist on the goal by Janney, his 16th at 12:06. It makes it 3-1 Avalanche.
With a newly enhanced Vortec 4300 V6 engine and available push-button 4-wheel drive, the GMC Jimmy can handle virtually anything you might encounter on the road. But you may appreciate Jimmy even more for its ability to get you out of your own driveway. The snow is coming. Get prepared at your Colorado GMC truck dealer.
It could happen to you. The moment when fate reaches out among the millions of people and chooses you and says you are the one who will win life. You will win millions.
Is that lotto ticket with her?
No thanks. Hey, you gotta give fate a chance.
On April 3rd, the Avalanche take on the Blues as Conoco poster night. Be one of the first 10,000 fans through the doors and receive an Adam Denmarsh poster, courtesy of KYGO and Conoco, the hottest brand going.
And after those games, Wednesday and Thursday, the Avalanche play home Winnipeg, road against San Jose. They have 5 days off, and they have their last 5 games of the season. 2 of them will be against the Gretzky St. Louis Blues.
Kucherov had it tipped away by Drake. 7:25 to go, second period. Colorado leads it 3-1. That last Jets goal again, Janney from Newman and Kachuk at 12:06. Janney fell down, and the puck is fired back in by Forsberg. Around the boards by the goaltender Roussel, and Forsberg controls it at his own line for Lemieux. He scored his 37th of the year in this game. Lecision gets it into Lemieux. At a bad angle, a shot, and hit the outside of the Winnipeg goal. And back come the Jets. Drake, far side to Kachuk, into Janney. He'll play one to the corner. Lecision there, not out though. Janney, right point to Manson. The drive on goal! And Long made the save at center now, but Forsberg is there. In traffic, can't clear it. Kachuk a shot with Lecision. Oh, a big block of the Kachuk shot. And the Avs clear it down the ice. 6:25 left second period. Manson up the middle now to Korolev. On his off wing, a shot. Rebound! Oh, big save on Shannon at the edge of the goal crease. Manson a drive and lost. Stuck up the right pad and was sharp again. Back comes Yale. Lost it to Ricci. His shot is wide by a foot.
Fourth time in tonight's game that Patrick Waugh has read the play perfectly to take away goal-mouth opportunities from Winnipeg.
Now Ricci in front for Mike Keane. Picking a drive on goal. Here's Keane. Spins away from Stapleton. It's Keane, Ricci, and Yell for the Avalanche. Ricci held up. Now Yell trying to get the puck in front. Jets steal it. Keane gets it back. In front. Oh! Yell just missed that far post. That may have grazed the outside of the goal post. 5:25 to go. And now we get a whistle. And I think we'll get penalties here. As Paul Stewart has been busy, he's called 7 minors already in the game.
Well, the reason he called this one was Ricci was facing towards the boards when he was hit. Korolev didn't hit him that hard, but he came across while Ricci was facing the boards. And again, the Avalanche go in the power play.
14:36 to time. Again, you can't hit a player from behind into the glass.
See, he didn't run him that hard, but he was facing towards the boards, and that's why the call was made. John, this is a desperate Winnipeg club. I mean, they cannot afford to lose this game. This is a home game. They're going on the road for 4 games now. The 4 games are in Dallas, in Colorado, in Edmonton, and Calgary before they return home here. So this is a key game for them if they hope to make the playoffs.
The Avalanche are 0 for 2 on the power play today. And they lead 3-1. Talking about key times, a power play goal here would be huge for the Avalanche.
Yeah, this is where the specialty teams, you need to make a difference in a game. We saw again, you can point back to that game the other night in Detroit, but that was almost a perfect hockey game by Detroit. Claude Lemieux has 5 goals, including a game winner in the first game these two clubs played here in Winnipeg.
Alexei Zhamnov has 4 goals in 2 games against the Avalanche, but again is not playing today because of back spasms.
And don't underestimate how good Zhamnov is. Now, this is the 3rd leading scorer in the league last year. One of the most brilliant playmakers. I mean, his ability is considered to be up there with Forsberg.
5:05 left in the second period. The Avalanche up 3-1 on a power play. Gusarov now for Sakic. He's got 2 goals today. Lemieux carries it in deep. Right to center. Here's Sakic. Spins in the corner. Right point. Ozelin. That shot blocked. Now Forsberg. To Sakic, the one-timer. And he put it wide. King was bumped hard by Lemieux. Sakic works the far side. Back on the line to Ozelin. He'll cut in to Gusarov. Back in front. Forsberg controls it again. 1:10 to go in the power play. Now to Sakic. Lines Lemieux in front. Over to Forsberg. Back to Sakic. The shot. Save it close right in front. Lemieux gets it, but can't get a shot on goal. Now Forsberg in the corner. He knocks it free. Lemieux. For a shot. Roussel, the blocker save. Kept in by Gusarov. His pass blocked by Kachuk. And back on the Jets. Short-handed. Slap shot and a blocker save by Waugh. 35 to go in the power play. Stolen at center by Manson. And dumped down the ice again.
John, I bet you there's been 15 times in tonight's game where Patrick Wise just made the save and moved it out right in front of the net to his defenseman.
Now a strike is in there for Winnipeg. 20 seconds to go. Then the Korolev minor. The Avalanche up by 2. Simon can't control it at center ice. And again, Manson fires it the length of the ice. So nothing doing on his power play. Now Valeri Kamensky on for Lefebvre into the zone. And now the Jets are back at full strength. Here's Ricci in front. Kamensky right in the slot. Oh, and what a save there by Russell. Kamensky was 5 feet away and had a glorious scoring chance. The Avalanche lead at 3-1. 3:15 to go in the second.
He's rich, he's famous, and totally out of control. A rock star who's stalking a supermodel.
Oh my God.
A psycho the police can't touch.
He's laughing at her. He's laughing at all of us.
Enter Max Swift.
Why are you doing this?
Because I can. An ex-cop who doesn't play around. Think rock and roll will never die.
What a piece of music.
Think again. Swift Justice.
On UPN 20, Wednesday night at 8.
Coach, what do you think? Son, it's not what you look like or how big you are. It's what you've got deep down inside. You can't see it. It's hidden. But believe me, it's there. I made the team. No, not a chance. I was talking about this pizza.
The new triple-decker pizza from Pizza Hut. Hidden inside too-thin crust is a 6-cheese blend for a huge cheese taste.
You know, son, I do need another guard. Night, kid.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Key Bank, the proud and exclusive banking sponsor of your Avalanche. A sellout over 15,000 here in Winnipeg today. A 3-1 Avalanche lead. 3:15 to go in the second period. Mark Crawford says you can only have 5 guys on the ice. The Jets had 6 players out there.
Blackhawks, James Black, who played whole last year, in Las Vegas International Hockey League, gets his chance through injuries, picked up a couple of goals, one yesterday against the Jersey Devils, gets another one against Anaheim today.
That's a huge game for the Jets and the Ducks. Corbet gets it out. 3 minutes to go, second period. Now the Jets, Kilger. Up on the far side for Jim McKenzie. Through center, Kilger again into Chassé. His shot blocked by Lecision, who knocks it out of midair and down the ice.
This is the Winnipeg Jets' 4th line, but this is their big line. They're out there to try and change the momentum of this game with some big hits.
And icing coming up here against the Jets. You know, during the All-Star break, the Jets ownership, the new owners in Phoenix, flew the entire club to Phoenix over the All-Star weekend to get the team acclimated to their new city. Apparently, Peter, when they left Winnipeg, it was minus 30 degrees. They got to Phoenix, it was 82. I think they enjoy the prospects of moving to Phoenix.
Yeah, and it has been, apparently, talking to people here in Winnipeg, a very tough winter. They went through a stretch of 17 days here in Winnipeg where it got at least as low as minus 35 every night.
But you really have to feel sorry for the fans here in Winnipeg who have supported the Jets very well. They raised something like $13 million last summer trying to keep the team here in Winnipeg.
Yeah, I mean, the Jets have had a club in the World Hockey since '72, in the National Hockey League since 1979. So a lot of these fans have grown up watching these guys play and will miss them. It's the national sport here in Canada, and it's tough to see it go.
The Avalanche lead at 3-1, 2 minutes to go in the second period. Now Korolev dumps it in. Shannon and Clem race in, and then Clem bangs Shannon. Korolev behind the goal. Now Shannon gets free for the Jets. In front of Stapleton, and he scuffed that one to the far corner. Got Young behind his goal. Now to Clem. Back for Young. Sakic comes over. Kept in on the line by the Jets. Now a shot by Korolev is high off the glass. Loose again. Shannon can't knock it down. And finally, Sakic feeds it out for Young. He bumps it center with Dallas Eakins. 1:25 to go in the period. Still 3-1 for the Avalanche. Glenn in the corner gets it. Oh, Lemieux lost it. Kachuk wide open, and he shot high. Oh, Kachuk was wide open. Now Janney back to the goal. Here's Drake. Trying to stuff it in, and Waugh made the pass save. And Forsberg with it to the Avalanche. He was run down by Drake. 1 minute left in the period. Now Janney, but he can't make a move around Wolanin. And the Avalanche should clear it down the ice. Now Drake at his own line for Winnipeg. Up to Janney. Good pass into Newman in front, and then Brissett went wide. Centers it, and Waugh knocked it away. And Kamensky scoots from behind his goal. And a good job by Kamensky to get it out. 30 seconds to go in the period. The Jets are back in again. Here's Drake. Backhander and a stick save by Waugh. Drake fights for it again. Ozelin comes over. Kachuk knocked it away from him. Now Kachuk. Left point. Played in deep by McIver. Center. McIver again. A drive. And that was wide. 10 seconds to go in the period. Kucherov ties up his man, and Waugh will hang on with 3.2 seconds to go in the period.
Well, this big line for Winnipeg has been put together since Janney joined the club last week in a trade. Janney in the middle, Shook on the left side, Drake on the right side. Offensively, they're very good down low. That seems to be the key to their game. Getting the puck down low, banging bodies in the corner, Janney making the plays, Kachuk going to the front of the net, and Drake just sort of hitting and playing the body.
The Jets have had the better of the play here in the second period, but the clubs have traded goals. Lemieux for the Avalanche, Janney for Winnipeg.
Tverdovsky went through an awful experience. Right at the time when he was traded to Winnipeg, his mother was kidnapped by a former coach who tried to get money from Tverdovsky, $200,000, because he felt that he was owed that money. That's a 19-year-old kid whose mother's kidnapped for 11 days. He gets traded from Anaheim to Winnipeg. Didn't tell anybody about the kidnapping, and fortunately the mother's fine. His parents are now in Anaheim, living in his home there, but talk about a tough stretch for a young kid to handle.
3 seconds to go here. Ricci falls on it. And that will kill the rest of the time in this second period. So the Avalanche, after grabbing a 3-0 lead, allow 1 goal, and the Jets are still in this hockey game after 2.
Yeah, Patrick Waugh, number 33 right there, has had a very good game, especially from some close-in shots from this Jet team.
The shots on goal. After 2, the Avalanche 23, the Jets 22, but the Avalanche own a 3-1 lead. After 2, coming up, we'll have a special feature, the Avalanche on the web. Questions for Peter McNabb.
Hello from the Plank Road Lane, where our man Paul and the Plank Road Warriors are here to make a simple little point. This is not smooth. In fact, downright clumsy. This, however, is strikingly smooth. Ice House. It's ice brewed, so there's never any watered-down taste, just more of what you want in a beer. And what's our team motto? It's not how many strikes or spares you get, it's how fast you get to the beer frame. Thanks, and enjoy.
Available at Guard Sports.
10 seconds left. The Nuggets are down by 1. Rose with the basketball. Jordan picks him up at half court. Jordan is helpless. Shaq picks up Jalen to top the key. A quick crossover. Leaves Shaq on his back. Rose goes baseline for the layup. Dikembe out of nowhere rejects the Rose. Unbelievable.
Visit the Nugget Sports Gallery, located in the Cherry Creek Mall, and the Locker Room stores, downtown Denver and Colorado Springs.
where you can dress like a pro.
That was a foul.
You're looking for your dream house. So what are your dreams?
I want a room to practice my piano.
Space to plant my perennials.
A big stone fireplace to cuddle up in front of.
Terrazzo tile.
A place to park the RV.
And a gorgeous white gazebo.
At Metro Brokers, what's important to you is important to us. So go ahead and dream, because no one works harder at making dreams come true than Metro Brokers.
Oh, and a hot tub.
The Avalanche on the Web, brought to you by Interactive Planning and Silicon Graphics, your chance to skate the web with the Avalanche.
And after 2 periods of play here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, the Avalanche with a 3-1 lead over the Jets. Time for Avalanche on the Web. You ask questions to our expert, Mr. Peter McNabb. And our first question is from Inglewood. Gary Sassa asks, what do the A and the C on the uniforms mean?
Well, the C and the A are very important letters. The C stands for the captain. And the captain, of course, of the Avalanche is Joe Sakic. And it is a very prestigious thing to have, to wear that C. Every player would love to be the captain of a hockey club. The A stands for assistant captain. And you'll see that on different players on different nights. Lecitian, Lefebvre, Ricci, they all are assistant captains. They just rotate it. Again, it's because it's so important, they want to sort of move that responsibility around to different players.
And technically speaking, only the captain and the assistants can discuss things with the referee, but that rule is overlooked a bit.
Yeah, but anytime the referee wants to call a meeting on a goal, or he has something he wants to talk about, he'll call the two captains over.
All right, our next question is from Steve Lyons of Manitoba here in wonderful Manitoba. What do the green and red lights mean behind the goal?
Well, there's actually 2 lights in behind the goal. The red light is the one that Avalanche fans love to see when Sakic or Forsberg or Lemieux have the puck. That means they put it behind the goaltender, and it is the goal. Anytime you see the red light, it stands for a goal has been scored. There's a green light. That also goes on at the end of the period. Obviously, pretty, right there, pretty easy to see. When the red light goes on, it's a goal. When the green light goes on, that means the period is ended.
And the reason they have that green light, because at the end of the period, if the green light goes on first, then there's no way, technically, that the red light can go on.
Yeah, they're set up so that if the green light goes on, the red light, it's impossible electronically to turn the red light on.
All right, our last question is from Patty Mann of Fargo, North Dakota. And Patty wonders, what is the difference between boarding and charging? Good question.
Well, the boarding is when you use the boards as an instrument to hurt the player. You're running the player when he's close to the boards, and you use the boards to sort of increase the hit and how hard it is. Charging, the boards don't have to be involved. It's when you take 3 or more steps and you run at a player and you knock him down.
All right, thank you for joining us for another edition of the Avalanche on the Web.
The Avalanche on the Web has been brought to you by Interactive Planning and Silicon Graphics. If you want to skate the web with the Avalanche, email us at the Avalanche homepage, www.coloradoavalanche.com. Hey, kids, anyone can dress like a pro, but contrary to popular belief, it's not the shoes that improve your game. It takes hard work and practice. That's why we're introducing the Denver Nuggets Youth Basketball Camp, coming this summer at South High School. Learn the fundamentals from Brian Stiff, Tom Hammonds, or Antonio McDyess. The camps are open to boys and girls, 8 through high school seniors. For details, call 893-6700. The Denver Nuggets Youth Basketball Camp. We're going to work your tail off.
For many kids, growing up can be tough. That's why Nike and the NHL are taking hockey to the streets. In NHL cities all over North America, Nike NHL Street offers thousands of kids the chance to learn how to play the game, how to work together, and how to have fun, all in a safe environment. To get more information on Nike NHL Street, call 1-800-929-PLAY.
The Avalanche is a hard-hitting team. So is 4.8% APR on 48-month financing or $600 cash back during the Mercury Smart Money Sale. The Avalanche is a team of all-stars. So are your Mercury dealers, with Mercury Mystique and the all-new Mercury Sable Automobile Magazine All-Stars for 1996. The Avalanche is a team of winners, and now so are you during the Smart Money Sale. Your Denver Metro Mercury dealers are proud sponsors of the Colorado Avalanche.
Hello from Plank Road, where our man Paul is out to prove that it's what's inside that counts. Take this bottle. Someone went to a lot of trouble to get this ship into it, but what are you going to do with it? Then take this bottle, Ice House. The folks at Plank Road also went to a lot of trouble, but look at all you get. An ice-brewed beer with no watered-down taste, so it goes down smooth and easy. So, if it's what's inside that counts, you can always count on Ice House. Thanks, and enjoy.
After 40 minutes of play in a matinee in Winnipeg, it's the Avalanche leading the Jets by a score of 3-1. And welcome back with Peter McNabb. I'm John Kelly. Good start to this one for the Avalanche. They get a couple of first-period goals from Sakic, then take a 3-0 lead. But the Jets give them credit. They wouldn't quit in that second period.
Yeah, they came out with a much stronger second period. They were more aggressive. They worked hard. Patrick Waugh was very good in the second.
Yeah, Patrick Waugh has had to make, I would say, at least 4 or 5 close-in big saves for the Avalanche.
Yeah, that's the key to Patrick Waugh's game. He reads the play so well. So when the puck is coming out from behind the net, he's set and square to the shooter instead of just being in movement as the puck shot.
And the Jets, a desperate hockey club, obviously a slim 1-point lead over Anaheim. They need this game in the worst way. All right, our second period stats are brought to you by the Colorado Lottery. Wednesday's Lotto jackpot, $10 million.
You look at the stats, pretty even. Both teams have done a very good job of killing off the penalties. Really the difference so far in tonight's game, the 2 goals by Sakic unassisted and the play of Patrick Waugh. He has been near perfect.
The Avalanche have been perfect thus far against the Jets. They've won the first 2 games. They lead this one after 2 by a score of 3-1.
Fact. Today's college graduate will have 4 careers. Each day, 10,000 baby boomers turn 50. Ketchup is being outsold by salsa. Your whole world is changing. And while a lot of banks haven't woken up to that fact, one has. Key. We have investment management for the little guy. Fast business banking, even on weekends. Teller machines that pay you for using them. And a commitment to keep up with America's changes. Key. For a new America.
Hey, Colorado, the Old West is alive and well at Colorado Central Station Casino, Blackhawks' first and largest entertainment facility, and an official sponsor of the Colorado Avalanche. Colorado Central Station Casino has home ice advantage in Blackhawk with over 500 free valet parking spaces, daily entertainment, and much, much more. Take Highway 119 west of Blackhawk, turn left at the first signal, and shoot into the free valet parking lot. Score a hat trick every night at Colorado Central Station Casino.
It could happen to you. The moment when fate reaches out among the millions of people and chooses you and says you are the one who will win Lotto. You will win millions.
Check Lotto ticket with her?
No thanks. Hey, you gotta give fate a chance.
With a newly enhanced Vortec 4300 V6 engine and available push-button 4-wheel drive, the GMC Jimmy can handle virtually anything you might encounter on the road. But you may appreciate Jimmy even more for its ability to get you out of your own driveway. The snow is coming. Get prepared at your Colorado GMC truck dealer.
After 40 minutes of play, the Avalanche lead the Winnipeg Jets 3-1. And welcome back with Peter McNabb. I'm John Kelly. Our broadcast table is right here. We're going to miss this old table here in Winnipeg.
Absolutely. I get to pound out those moments.
Good second period, though. Goaltending-wise for the Avalanche, I think was the key.
Yeah, Patrick Waugh faced a breakaway by Dome, and again, he just looks, when he's on his game, he makes it look so simple. And one of the things he's doing in tonight's game, when the puck comes in, he makes it save, he's directing it right out to the defenseman who are quickly getting it out of the zone.
All right, we had 2 goals in that second period. Lemieux made it 3-0. A beautiful feed from Forsberg at 8:40, and then Craig Janney got the Jets back in the game at 12:06 from Newman and Kachuk.
Beautiful play by both Forsberg and Lemieux. Forsberg the pass, Lemieux breaking to the net, and he has just been so good at putting his stick in just the right place. Watch Lemieux right here. Gets his stick on the ice. Forsberg finds it, doesn't get it tied up, doesn't get a lot of that puck, but he puts it exactly where it wants to, up over the shoulder of Roussel. And here was where Winnipeg gets into the game. Newman, a nice pass into Janney. Patrick almost got that puck out of trouble, but Janney picked it up, and as he has the last couple of games offensively, gives this club a spark. The Avalanche almost got the puck out of the zone right there, but when Janney was all by himself in front, Janney's third goal in 2 games gives some life to the Winnipeg Jets.
The Jets fighting for their playoff lives, got 1 goal, but still trail by 2 after 2, with the third period coming up next.
When a person is driven, when something is so desperately important, he becomes predictable.
Thomas Vale is about to meet his worst enemy.
Did you really think we didn't know you'd come looking for all the answers? You can't walk away. You never could.
But it's not the conspiracy.
And that's your basic problem. Predictable.
It's himself.
You're sure about that? It's the moment of truth.
Nowhere Man.
On UPN 20, Monday night at 8.
If you're so inclined. Meanwhile, at Grease Monkey, they'll change your oil and filter, lubricate your chassis, check your vital fluids, wash your windows, and vacuum your interior, all in about 10 minutes. Grease Monkey. We keep big drips off of driveways.
Hey kids, get in the game free with King Soopers Pepsi Youth Nights. Check out the Super Sports Center where kids under 12 can see the Colorado Avalanche and the Denver Nuggets for free. Purchase any specially marked Pepsi 12-pack at your local King Super store to get your Youth Nights coupon. When you buy 1 adult ticket, you get 2 kids tickets free for select games. Colorado Avalanche and Denver Nuggets Youth Nights. Brought to you by King Soopers, Pepsi, and Cool 105.
Stories from around the league is brought to you by the Denver Post, the official newspaper of the Avalanche. Buffalo beat Pittsburgh last night, but Super Mario was stopped at a penalty shot.
Doesn't happen very often. I'll tell you, he is, has been considered the best in the game at penalty shooting.
And the Rangers stopped the Bruins' unbeaten streak.
Rangers come with two third-period goals to win that game 5-4. Messier picks up his 44th and 45th in that game.
And Kovalev got the winner for the Rangers. And the Ducks continue toward the playoffs.
Well, this will be a very interesting story. That one trade, Timo Solani, who here with the Winnipeg Jets was considered untouchable. All of a sudden, he ends up in Anaheim for a couple of highly prized, first-round picks from Anaheim, and he has helped that club immensely.
Stories from around the league brought to you by the Denver Post. Now it's time for our face-off. Brought to you by Red Dog. You are your own dog.
John, I'm just looking at the Eastern Conference. Right now, sitting in 6th spot is Boston with 77. Jersey's got 77. Tampa Bay has 77. In 9th place, Washington was 76. The 4th place club in the West would not be in the playoff picture in the East. The East right now is, that is a very, very tight, hard-fought thing to make the playoffs.
Teams are at full strength as we're underway here in the third period. The Avalanche up 3-1. The Jets, Mike Eastwood in deep. Collected for their captain, Chris King. A shot on goal. And wow, we'll hang on. You know, you mentioned those Eastern Conference standings. You played for many of the teams in the East, Buffalo and Jersey. Boston. You must have mixed feelings going down the stretch here, Peter.
Well, it's interesting, you know, just to look and see. Obviously, I haven't played with many of the guys that are now on these teams, but, you know, they don't have... The thing about it is that each of these clubs, no one is falling off the pace. In Tampa Bay with 77 points, Washington 76, Jersey 7. These clubs have played well. And how about Jersey? Have they won 7 games in overtime now this season? Undefeated in overtime. 7-0-10.
And of course, the Devils, the ex-Cup champions. Can they repeat? A lot of people still think, despite the Devils' mediocre regular season, are the team to beat in the East and maybe in the playoffs.
And nobody wants to meet them that first round. But again, not since 69-70 when Montreal Canadiens missed the playoffs. And the Stanley Cup team, the Stanley Cup winner, missed the playoffs.
Early here in the third period, Lemieux sends it in front, no one is there. And Drake for Winnipeg gets it out. 1 minute gone in the third. The Avalanche up 3-1, and that play is called back. They're offside.
Interesting to watch that last shift. Now they had Lemieux on the right side with Sakic and Young. And now we've got a line of Murray centering Deadmarsh and Simon. So it's an interesting line maneuvering possibly by Mark Crawford.
This year the Avalanche was leading after 2, 35-1-3. The Jets are 6-26-1 when trailing after 2, which they do right now, down 3-1. Here comes Murray, the ex-Jet. And he ran into the linesman. And they're both slow in getting up.
Murray right here. Kilger, the 19-year-old rookie, who was a first-round pick of the Anaheim Mighty Ducks this season. They've got 3 guys right now in their club, Winnipeg does, that are 19 years old. Kilger, Shane Doan, and Tverdovsky.
Earlier this year, they had 4 teenagers in their lineup at one time. So they've got a very young team. Here's Kilger, a shot, never got through traffic. Ozelin's back of the Avalanche goal. 15,518, a sellout here at the Winnipeg Arena. The Avalanche with a 3-1 lead. Now Simon turns. Jets make a change, so Simon will dump it in. And off the board. Right in front, Sakic! Can't knock it in! No! Roussel was nowhere to be found, and Sakic had a wide-open goal, but couldn't get a stick down. Stapleton for Winnipeg in deep. Right point now to Jeff Finley. This pass blocked by Kamensky. Stapleton again into Shannon. He's run by Wolanin. Sakic comes over. Now Clem back of the net. Gets some help from his defensive partner Wolanin, who shoots it high to center.
John, I do not want to be, you know, until I find out for sure, but I don't think Forsberg's on the bench for the Avalanche. Sakic has been double shifted with Forsberg line and then his own line. He has not played here in the third.
Now Ricci for the Avalanche. Has some room. Ricci turns it over, and Janney, he failed to clear it. Kept in by Lecision. Kamensky lost it, and the Jets have a 3-on-2. Drake to Janney. Right in front to Drake, and he stands on the pass, and Ricci gets it out now for Lemieux. Here is Lemieux. The Avalanche up by 2. Turned over. Kept in by Drake. Oh, what a play by Lecision. He dove down and made a great play to block the pass, which was intended for Tkachuk. And Ricci will dump it down the ice. 3:30 gone, third period. Colorado leading 3-1. Now Stefan Yell. He'll dump it in. And Manson retreating for the Jets, gives it up. Here's Yell in front. Sakic! Oh, he was wide open, but the shot was tipped away. Gusarov cuts it in. Yell back on the line to Keane. His shot hit a leg. And Eastwood for Winnipeg pokes it out. And now Ozelin going back for the Avalanche. Here comes Kucherov. Tipped in by Corbet. And now the Avs make a change as play continues. Eastwood deep in his own zone. Good pass to center for Shane Doan. A drive and a glove save by Waugh. And he holds on. And then King took a shot. He's upset. Colorado leads it 3-1 here in the third period.
A terrorist group takes an entire police precinct hostage.
We could have a bloodbath on our hands.
And only one cop can stop them.
Drop your weapon!
A cop who uses all 5 of his senses, like weapons.
Now, get your head blown off.
Now, with every move, you'll feel the suspense building. And building. And building.
We're good guy!
Right to the finish.
What the hell was that?
Hold on tight. Oh my God. The Sentinel.
On UPN 20, Wednesday night at 7.
Hello from fabulous Plank Road Field, where the Plank Road 10 has just chalked up another impressive win, and our coach, Paul, is ready to give his victory speech. Now this is watered down. And this isn't. Ice House. It's ice brewed, so there's never any watered down taste, just more of what you want in a beer. So remember, winning isn't everything, but Ice House is. Thanks, and enjoy.
And tonight's game is brought to you by Vail and Beaver Creek Resort. With over 7 feet of new snow in February, ski conditions are as good as they get. Pick up a discount lift ticket at any Front Range Guard Brothers location. The Vail Valley, there's no comparison. Willannon right in front of the net. Oh, that's why King was upset. The stick got up near the head of Chris King. He came back and had a little exchange with Willannon.
15:43 to go, third period. The Avalanche lead it 3-1. Off the faceoff, King was knocked down. Puck knocked free, and Doan shoots it in behind the goal. Eastwood hammered to the boards by Clem. Eakins comes in from the left point. Now Willannon to the far side for Clem. And the rookie up the middle now to Sakic. With some time, he'll dump it in. And Roussel sets it up in deep. Just work it up for Eastwood. Now carried on by King. Doan at center can't dump it in. And Murray controls it for the Avalanche. Now Deadmarsh sends it to the corner. Simon is there. He fights with it with Jeff Finley, and the Jets move smartly back to center. Here's King. He's been on the ice for a long time. Will just dump it in from his own side at center. And as Lecision gets to it first, he barely did. Icing called against the Jets.
Good hustle by Lecision. That was a flat foot race with Lecision right here. These are always the ones where people say, why doesn't the National Hockey League just take on the college rule? Once this puck passes the red line, the goal line down there, automatically icing, because those are such dangerous plays. These guys are going so fast that, I mean, there's such potential for injury. What do you think? I don't see, there's not that many times in the game makes that big a difference. You might as well take away the chance of injuries.
14:45 left in the third. The Avalanche lead 3-1. 2 goals from Sakic, 1 from Lemieux. Off the face-off, Ozelin into Simon. Puts it right in front, but no one is there. And Korolev now for Winnipeg. He'll just scoop it in. Shannon hammered by Ozelin. Now Stapleton near side for the Jets. Into the corner again for Shannon. Korolev behind the goal. Wrap around, and Waugh kept that left skate against the post and made the save. Simon tips it out. Now Keppel-Newman in for Winnipeg. Back in front. A shot by Korolev, and that went wide. Sakic trying to clear it. Stapleton, a shot. That threw everybody, and Waugh made the save, and the puck cleared to Simon. Held in by McIver. Long drive right on, and a save by Waugh. As again, he went down to the butterfly and kept it and held it for a face-off.
Patrick Waugh. Just watch Waugh on each shot. He's staying up, he's staying solid, he's staying square to the shot. And things are starting to pick up physically, both of these clubs. That's Joe Sakic right there. Puts the hit on Korolev. But Patrick Waugh really has been the difference in today's game. He has just made a couple extra saves, a couple big saves in close that Roussel hasn't been able to handle.
The Jets have outshot the Avalanche 28-23, but trail 3-1. Just under 14 minutes left in the third period. Michel, Keane, and Ricci up front here for the Avalanche. Puck kept in by Ricci. Looks to center. He does hit a stick and went to the corner. Ricci knocked down, gets it for Yale. He hops over his own man, Ricci. Now Finley ahead to Drake. Jets up the middle, can't clear it. Lefebvre, a backhander. That's blocked by McIver. And the puck now to center ice. The Jets have their big line on him. Janney, Drake, and Kachuk. Manson now for McIver. Picked up in a trade this year from Pittsburgh. Dumped in. Wolanin racing back. He's tied up in there by Janney. Now Drake back on the line to Manson. You got a big shot. Let's it go. Rebound to score. Craig Janney. And it's 3-2.
Well, Janney, twice in tonight's game, has shown you why he is so good offensively. Sticks with that puck and was able to not only take the punishment but find the puck, get it on his forehand. Waugh goes down after he made the first save and just took his time, took the punishment, and both goals tonight here in this afternoon's game has lifted the Jets back within one goal.
His second of the game, his second straight two-goal game. It cuts the Avalanche lead to 3-2. The goal at 7:01 from Kachuk and Manson. And now the Jets are very much in this hockey game, down by 1. Here's Waugh. Really misplayed it, but now covers up. And we get a stoppage in play. Janney has scored again at 7:01. And look out now, the Jets only down by 1.
The excitement of hockey is shared by young and old. Ride the avalanche of values with these frozen food products. Think frozen and score big with the quality of Vandekamp fish and the convenience of Inland Valley French fries, as well as these other fine frozen foods. Take proof of purchase of these brands to sports van stores and save 15% on sports souvenirs from the Colorado Avalanche, Denver Nuggets, Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Broncos. Look for these avalanche of value items at these fine retailers.
A Denver boy has an idea to aid Oklahoma City, and Colorado rallies behind him. The sale of Winter Park is averted, and $2 million a year goes to Denver's parks. A Rocky takes one downtown, and the whole state cheers. As Coloradans, we are all connected, which is why the Denver Post will keep delivering to all the Rocky Mountain region. And we're the only paper that can say that. The Denver Post. We stand for Colorado. Buy 6 months, get 6 months free. Call 832-3232 for guaranteed 6 a.m. delivery.
For the latest news and stats on the Avalanche, skate onto the internet and check out the Avalanche's new homepage, created by Infaximation and Interactive Planet.
John, obviously great news for the Avalanche fans. Forsberg comes back onto the ice. He missed the first 7.5 minutes of this period. It will be obviously interesting to see what had happened to Forsberg.
That last Jets goal, Janney from Manson and Kachuk. That's 7:01. It's a 1-goal Avalanche lead. Again, the Jets, a desperate team coming into the game, only a point ahead of Anaheim. Now Drake gets it to the near side for Newman. And off the boards. This Jet line, this top line has been double shifted here. They were on the ice only 2 lines ago. Now Kachuk in the corner. Pass back, broken up, and Corbeil now to Deadmarsh. 2-on-2. Pass into Rene Corbeil. Backhander, tipped on goal by Deadmarsh, and a alert save by Roussel. Now Corbeil into the corner again for Deadmarsh. Centers it. Here comes Forsberg. Wide in, he scores! Oh, Forsberg! Out of the locker room, onto the ice, and it goes into the net with a brilliant goal. What a goal by Peter Forsberg. He does it all on this play.
Well, John, we just found out Sean Martineau, PR director of the Avalanche, came by and said that Forsberg got cut on the right ankle, took the stitches, and then returns it on his first shift in a game that the Jets were starting to take a little control of. I mean, how good is this kid going to be, John? Do we have any idea yet just how he's going to dominate this game?
Here's Forsberg again, in front of Lemieux, a shot, and it's off the glass and over the glass, and a whistle. Forsberg got the goal, his 28th of the year. A good play by Deadmarsh to get it free. Corbeil also gets an assist on the goal. Well, I'll make a prediction right now, Peter. He will lead this league in scoring in the next couple of years. That's how good I think he is.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously is surrounded by players right now, Kaminsky and Lemieux, that fit right into his style and understand it. But, you know, the way he reads, sees, understands the game is, I mean, he just gets better and better every 10-game segment.
Here's another shot by Forsberg. Forsberg gets it again. Great pass in. Guzerov, a shot. And a save by Dominic Roussel.
And what's interesting, when you watch the bench for the Avalanche, you take your great players out of the line. Your team obviously is just not as good. But you can see the bench when they saw Forsberg come back. Now, not like I say you can see them relax, but you know, you're pretty happy if Peter's back out there with you. And then he steps right on the ice and scores a goal his first shift. That's where those little legends start building.
And if you're Terry Simpson, the coach of the Jets, he's thinking, oh, great, Forsberg's out of the game. He's done. He looks up, Forsberg is back, and his worst nightmare is realized.
If I'm Terry Simpson, I'm talking to that doctor. You couldn't have stretched that out. That's a hometown doctor. Couldn't have stretched those stitches out a little longer. Get them gone for the whole period.
The goal again, Forsberg from Deadmarsh and Corbeil, 22, the Avalanche. Lead it 4-2. Now Manson for Winnipeg. Tipped out, Korolev is after it. And McIver now for the Jets. He'll dump it in. You know the story of this game, Peter, aside from the Avalanche grabbing a 3-0 lead, the Jets have got nothing from their other three lines aside from the Great Line.
Yeah, Janney has the last 4 goals in the last 2 games for the Winnipeg Jets. They just don't seem... They've had some chances. Shannon in particular has had a couple of close-in chances, but they have not been able to put the puck behind Patrick Waugh.
Now Korolev for Winnipeg. Out with Stapleton. And Shannon. Shannon hammered by Clem. 10-10 to go, third period. The Avalanche up by 2. And they start back with Keane over to Yale. Good pass off the boards, but Lennon thought the smart move and didn't move into the play with his club owning a 2-goal lead. Now stolen by Keane, but taken right back by the Jets, and Kachuk roars into the zone. In front, but Ricci got over, and he'll lift it back to center. Finley fires it in again for the Jets. And Guzerov behind that net, up the near side. And Keane is there to get the puck back to center. Janney fires it in. And there's Waugh playing the puck to center. That is such a big advantage for especially the defenseman when a goaltender can move the puck out of the zone like that.
If they start to have confidence and they see the puck going Patrick Waugh, they move to the side and start giving Patrick Waugh targets to move the puck to.
It's like 6 forwards on the ice. 9:05 to go in regulation time. The Avalanche up by 2. It's 4-2. Lecision. He's played a very strong game. On the far side of Corbeil, cut in. Tverdovsky is in deep. Oleg Tverdovsky hammered by Lefebvre. Work behind the goal by McKenzie. Gilder gets it in front, but the Avalanche cover up nicely. And now to center, it's Troy Murray. Denmark's trying to get to it, but the goaltender Roussel beat him to it and clears it out. Now the Jets steal it. Sakic fires it in. 8:25 to go in the third. The Avalanche up 4-2. Here's Eakins again. Picked up on waivers from St. Louis on the 20th. Here's a steal. Kamensky had a bounce over his stick, though. Or he might have had a breakaway. Manson had his stick lifted by Forsberg, and Forsberg now to the corner. Forsberg. Great pass to Kamensky. And he was taken down hard by Manson. No call. And the Jets race after it. Here's Shane Doan. He was upended by Gusarov. And the Avalanche start back with Lemieux. 3 Jets are back. Now to Kamensky in front. Lemieux couldn't see the pass. Now Kamensky to Lemieux. Oh, what a save there! Another save by Roussel. 2 big chances by the Avalanche. Landing right back into the zone to Lemieux. Slap shot. And Roussel kicked out the right leg and made the save. And the Jets play it down the ice. 7:20 to go. Still 4-2 for the Avs. And they dump at the length of the ice, and there should be an icing call against Colorado. Well, Peter the Great has returned. He gets a huge goal.
NHL hockey has returned to Colorado, and the excitement has never been higher. Keep up with the latest in Hockey on the Edge, the Colorado Avalanche's monthly newsletter available in the Denver Post. Hockey on the Edge appears on the first Sunday of every month, featuring articles from head coach Mark Crawford, insight from players, statistics, scouting reports, and more. Hockey on the Edge is your one-stop source for everything you want to know about the Colorado Avalanche, and it's only available in the Denver Post. Brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Stay cool.
Avalanche games on UPN 20 are brought to you by Ice Brewed Ice House. Our next telecast Thursday the 28th against the San Jose Sharks at 8:30. And the Sharks have played better lately.
The San Jose Sharks walked into here, into Winnipeg, and beat the Jets 7-1. As bad a loss as the Jets have had all season, but the Jets rebounded from that with a 4-1 victory over Philadelphia last game.
And, of course, the Sharks beat the Avalanche a couple of weeks ago, 5-3, despite getting outshot 57-26. 7 minutes to go. Colorado leads it 4-2. Sakic has scored 2. Lemieux and Forsberg have the others, and this is going to be an icing call against the Jets. Now the boys and girls clubs of Metro Denver are giving you the chance to win a new home. You could be the winner of a brand new home in Highlands Ranch, valued at $350,000, and do something good for boys and girls clubs. Call 455-4422 for more information.
Right now, Dominic Roussel needing some equipment from the Winnipeg Jets bench. Looks like he's got a stone. Run the stone along the side of the skate, takes away any burrs or nicks in the skate. It might make him fall over.
You know, Peter, this is the Jets' 17th year here in Winnipeg in the NHL. But they've made the playoffs 10 of the 17 years, but they've never gotten by the second round. their captain, Chris King, said about this year, we've been underachieving, and maybe that's the way we've been for the last few years. And now that the Jets are moving out of here, the postscript from Winnipeg might be this team underachieved for a lot of years in Winnipeg.
Yeah, it's hard to believe you can go 17 years and only win one playoff series, probably two playoff series during all of that time, because they've had so many high draft choices that didn't pan out. They've had so many, teams that looked like they should have been good that weren't. And it's interesting, in the Montreal Forum, when they left the Forum, there's talking about all the great clubs. And it's a situation where Winnipeg just was never able to create a real identity for themselves.
The only two playoff series they won were in 85 and 87. Guess who they met in the second round both years? Edmonton. Yeah. And were swept in both second-round series.
Yeah, and I sometimes wonder if they weren't hurt here sometimes for the fact that the ice, I know it's got back to that, but the ice is so good. It's such a treat and pleasure to play in this building. There's such a good hockey atmosphere. The boards are lively. The puck moves so well. A lot of times you get caught up in very good games.
Now 6:30 left in the third period. The Avalanche lead at 4-2. Simon trying to work it out. Here's Korolev, long wrist shot, and that's knocked down by Wolanin, and here come the Avalanche. Up for Young. Korolev got back now for the Jets. Late pass to Shannon down the near wing. He's skated off by Ozelich. And the Avalanche have really tightened up since Janney scored to make it 3-2. They got the goal from Forsberg and have some breathing room. Newman in now for Winnipeg. For Tverdovsky. Tipped on by Shannon, but Gusarov gets it. Here's Scott Young, the native of Boston. He'll flip it down the ice with 5:40 left in regulation time. Gusarov kept it in with some help from Kamensky. Now Dallas Eakins up the middle. Doan is on the move for Winnipeg. Doan and drive on a good save by Waugh with the arm, and Forsberg has the rebound. He comes back 3-on-2. Good pass to Kamensky. The trailer is Lemieux. The pass to Lemieux, but King got over and roughed him up and then knocked him down. Lemieux's lost his helmet, and then King and Lemieux do some pushing. Forsberg has that puck. Drops it off. A shot by Lecision. And a save by the goaltender Roussel as Lemieux and King get down and dirty in this third period.
He's rich, he's famous, and totally out of control. A rock star who's stalking a supermodel.
Oh my God.
A psycho the police can't touch.
He's laughing at her. He's laughing at all of us.
Enter Max Swift.
Why are you doing this?
Because I can. An ex-cop who doesn't play around. Think rock and roll will never die.
What a piece of news.
Think again. Swift Justice.
On UPN 20, Wednesday night at 8.
Fact. Today's college graduate will have 4 careers. Each day, 10,000 baby boomers turn 50. Ketchup is being outsold by salsa. Your whole world is changing. And while a lot of banks haven't woken up to that fact, one has. Key. We have investment management for the little guy. Fast business banking even on weekends. Teller machines that pay you for using them. And a commitment to keep up with America's changes. Key. For a new America.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Key Bank, the proud and exclusive banking sponsor of the Avalanche.
Well, Claude Lemieux doing what he did best that last shift with Chris King. He and King went in, got knocked down, the helmet got knocked off, but he stayed with it all. He was trying to egg King into taking a penalty, taking that one extra shot. He showed good restraint, not getting involved with Chris King right here. King getting a little shot, he pushes back, skates away, hoping to draw the penalty.
Just under 5 minutes left here in the third period. The Avalanche with a 4-2 lead. It was 2-0 after one on a pair of goals from Sakic. Lemieux scored for the Avalanche in the second. Janney for the Jets. Janney scored again in the third to make it 3-2, but Forsberg's goal And 8:22 has given the Avalanche some breathing room. And the Jets have now been outshot 31-30. So in the last 5 minutes or so, Peter, the Avalanche have really picked it up in the offensive zone.
They've gotten the puck out of their own zone very quickly, very smoothly, which created some chances.
That's tipped on goal by Janney and held by Patrick Roy. After today's game, the Jets have only 3 more games here in Winnipeg and 7 on the road. So a team with a 1-point lead holding down to the 8th and final playoff spot. A very tough schedule down the stretch.
That's what made this game here today so important. And they knew it was going to be a tough game. Winnipeg did. The fact that, you know, they looked and saw that a good team, a proud team like the Avalanche had gotten beaten 7-0 by Detroit. They know what kind of practice is going to be that next day. They know that the Avalanche had meetings and they'd be up for the game.
Quick shot off the face-off by Shannon. Waugh took care of that. 4:05 to go. Still 4-2 for the Avalanche. Ricci scoops it in. And Manson, number 4, the ex-Oiler and Blackhawk, leaves it for McIver. Manson had it stripped away by Corbet. McIver trying to get it out. He does. But Wolanin grabs it for the Avalanche. Now Manson again. Plays one of the Avalanche line. Wolanin for Clem. Murray trying to work it out. Kicks at it. Tucked in by Shannon. And Waugh sets it up in deep for Craig Wolanin. 3:25 to go. The Jets have got to start taking some chances now as Murray raises in for the Avalanche. Murray in front of shot. He scores! Troy Murray beats his old club, and that might be a backbreaker.
And you know, John, you know when this play was made? It was made all the way back in the Avalanche zone. Craig Wolanin had the puck. Now, he could have banked it off the boards. Instead, he faked like he's going to bank it off the boards, made a straight line stick-to-stick pass. All of a sudden, Murray's got the puck. Credit Deadmarsh for driving towards the net and causing a screen and traffic in front. Murray, a good shot, but a nice play for beginning with Wolanin in the zone, all the way up the ice to Corbet, to Troy Murray, former captain of these Winnipeg Jets.
And that's his first goal since scoring a goal against Toronto on March 3rd. It comes at 16:44. Corbet and Wolanin get the assist on the goal. Corbet's second assist. And the Avalanche have a 5-2 lead. But you mentioned Deadmarsh. He made a great play on Forsberg's goal. And a wonderful screen there on that goal by Murray. It's the little plays in sports that seem to make the difference every night.
And it's a hustling, hard-working play, going to the front of that, you know, busting your hump to get there, to be the guy standing in front. And you're right, that was the difference.
There's a quick shot on goal by Chassé. Rebound shot wide. It's now 5-2 for the Avalanche. 2.5 minutes left here. And Gusarov ties up his man. Chassé into the corner. Lost it. And Young comes back for the Avalanche. To Sakic, now to Young. 3 Jets are back. So Young tries to dump it in, but hit Newman in. Both teams make changes as Newman shoots it in. But again, the Jets are getting nothing offensively from their bottom 3 lines. Only the Janney unit has put any pressure on Patrick Roy in this game. And Peter, as you know, one-line teams don't last very long in this league.
No, because there's, you know, you could double shift defensive players. So many clubs now have such good defensive, smart defensive players.
Oh, Forsberg, what a pass there, but Kamensky just missed it. And now the Jets clear it down the ice. 1:40 to go in the third. A 5-2 Avalanche lead, and the Jets keep it in. Tverdovsky into Janney in front, and Tkachuk, a quick shot, missed the goal. Rebound and scooped up by Waugh as Drake let it go from 5 feet away.
John, no one loss could make or break a hockey game. Very seldom does it happen. But it's how you respond to the tough games that shows what kind of character you've got. Coming off a tough 7-0 loss to Detroit, they've come out with a good effort here tonight. Forsberg flat flat on his knees, and just a perfect pass across. Kaminsky just couldn't quite see it through the screen. But the Avalanche, we wondered how they respond here today. They've responded well. Waz come back with a good game here tonight. And so on this 4-game road trip, they're going to go home with 3 wins and 1 loss. Very good. Yeah, this will be their 20th road victory of the year.
Here's McIver. His shot was stopped by Mike Keane. 1:25 to go. And the Avalanche clear it back to center. Now Manson, he gives it up and Clem controls it. Of course, these clubs will meet again Wednesday at Big Mac in Denver. The 4th and final meeting of the year between the Jets and the Avalanche. Stolen here by Ricci. 1 minute to go. Now Mike Stapleton for Winnipeg. He's chased back by Yell. Up for Manson. It's picked off by Keane. We're in the final minute here in Winnipeg. As Yell plays it into the zone. I look at the out-of-town scoreboard, and Anaheim and Chicago are now tied 2-2 in the 3rd period. So the Ducks have come back, and they could at least tie the Jets for the 8th place in the conference, perhaps go ahead of them with a win.
With a tie, they would have the same number of points. Winnipeg has 1 more victory, so technically they would be placed ahead of them right now, but they would be tied if they get a point.
Here's Sakic, 20 seconds to go, into Kucherov, great pass. Deadmarsh right in front, and never got a lot on that as the Avalanche worked it around very nicely. Kick free to Deadmarsh, 7 seconds to go. In the slot, Sakic for the hat trick, and a save by Roussel as Sakic bid for the hat trick was stopped, but the Avalanche leave Winnipeg with a 5-2 victory. A great comeback effort after the loss in Detroit.
They bounced back well. Interesting, John, the game-winning goal in tonight's game, scored by number 22, Claude Lemieux. That's his 10th game-winning goal of the season. That ties Fedorov and Yager for the league lead.
And Patrick Roy wins his 30th game of the season, his 18th with the Avalanche. He was razor sharp, especially in the 2nd period.
The 2 goals that the Jets scored in tonight's game, Janney, both of them on rebounds, both of them up top on great shots. Patrick Roy, anything he saw, he saved tonight.
And our key play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank, the proud and exclusive banking sponsor of the Avalanche.
Well, here's a play, just a beautiful play by Forsberg, who, remember, missed the first 7.5 minutes of the period, getting his ankle stitched up. His first shift after returning to the ice, he scores that big 4th goal of the game, and that's our KeyBank key play of the game.
So the Avalanche win their 42nd of the year, their 94th point. They pound the Jets here in Winnipeg. Our final 5-2.
Nice tattoo. Little coochie coochie. Hey, check this out. Oh, look at that. What you got? When just a cold one isn't cold enough, call for the refreshing taste of cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Nice tattoo. Is that right? Cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Stay cool.
Available at Guard Sports.
With a newly enhanced Vortec 4300 V6 engine and available push-button 4-wheel drive, the GMC Jimmy can handle virtually anything you might encounter on the road. But you may appreciate Jimmy even more for its ability to get you out of your own driveway. The snow is coming. Get prepared at your Colorado GMC truck dealer.
You're looking for your dream house. So what are your dreams?
High ceilings in case I get really good.
A greenhouse.
And plush pile carpeting in case I don't.
I like a little privacy, baby.
room to entertain. A quiet room that's just for me.
At Metro Brokers, what's important to you is important to us. So go ahead and dream. Because no one works harder at making dreams come true than Metro Brokers.
My room, all mine.
Our final score today from the Winnipeg Arena, maybe the Avalanche's last ever appearance here at this popular venue. The Avalanche win it 5-2 over the Jets. Welcome back with Peter McNabb. I'm John Kelly. A good rebound effort for the Avalanche, and they were tested in this game. Don't forget, it was a one-goal game early in the third period.
Yeah, and the Jets had some opportunities. They were moving the puck towards them. I thought they crashed the net well. They made it tough for the defenseman and Patrick Watt to find the puck, but Watt turned out to be the difference in today's game.
Yeah, he was very good, especially in that second period. And our Grease Monkey save of the game is brought to you by Grease Monkey every 3 months or 3,000 miles, because the only red light we want you to see is the one behind the opponent's goalie.
You watch Patrick Watt, you see how he was so square to the shooter and moving down, keeping so much of his body in front of the shot, able to find those rebounds, able to keep that first puck away. Right there again, just moving the puck down. This one is cleared out, down the ice. Patrick Waugh, that was our Grease Monkey save of the game.
These clubs will meet again Wednesday in Denver at Big Mac. And then, of course, the Avalanche are in San Jose Thursday. That's our next game here on UPN 20. Join us at 8:30 Thursday as the Avalanche take on Darren Turcotte and the San Jose Sharks. Today in Winnipeg, it was too much Waugh, Forsberg, Sakic, Lemieux and company. They were tremendous, and the Avalanche win it 5-2 over the Jets.
The inaugural season of the Colorado Avalanche is being brought to you by Red Dog Beer. Bold yet smooth, unusually easy to drink. You are your own dog. By GMC. By the Denver Post, official newspaper of the hockey fans. By Conoco, the hottest brand going. And by Pepsi. Nothing else is a Pepsi. This has been a presentation of the Colorado Avalanche.
Welcome to McNichols Arena, where tonight the NHL is back on ice. The Winnipeg Jets in town to take on the Colorado Avalanche. Well, these two teams met on Sunday afternoon up in Winnipeg. The Avalanche wrapping up a 3-1 road trip with a 5-2 win over the Winnipeg Jets. Tonight, the rematch on home ice for the Colorado Avalanche. One key in tonight's game may be special teams. Keith Tkachuk of the Winnipeg Jets has 19 power play goals. That puts him third in the National Hockey League. The bad news for the Jets is when the other team's on the power play, they are 23rd out of 26 teams in penalty killing. So look for special teams to be an important factor in tonight's game as the Winnipeg Jets try to hold on to the 8th and final spot in the Western Conference playoff picture. For all the action, we go upstairs. John Kelly and Peter McNabb will have all the play-by-play. Gentlemen?
All right, Tom, thank you very much. The situation, of course, on Sunday when the Avalanche won 5-2 was the Avalanche want to get primed for the playoffs. The Jets are a desperate team, and the situation remains the same, Peter.
Yeah, and I think it was a big game for the Colorado Avalanche. They're coming off a 7-0 loss to Detroit that they took very much to heart, and they responded with a very good hockey game in Winnipeg.
Of course, the Avalanche have swept all 3 games against the Jets, including the matinee in Winnipeg.
Yeah, they scored a lot of goals against Winnipeg. They've got big goals at big times. Waugh was solid in nets, but the real key, I thought, was the play of Joe Sakic, especially in the first period. He got a shorthanded goal and then a great second-effort goal right here that got the Avalanche off to a 2-0 lead in that hockey game. But at the end, just a magnificent goal by Peter Forsberg. He missed the first 7.5 minutes of the third period. That was his first shift after returning from having it cut and stitched.
Well, counting tonight, the Avalanche, only 8 regular season games to go.
And only 3 on the road. And I think the big key is only one of these clubs, St. Louis, who they play twice, is over 500. So this is a situation right now, the Avalanche will have to work hard to grind out these games and get themselves mentally tough for the playoffs.
Yeah, team-wise, they don't have many goals they can accomplish in the regular season, but individually, there are some milestones within reach.
Yeah, some guys will be going for things, and these are things that you work for, because it helps you to get up for a game. Sakic wants 110 points. That would be his best season. Claude Lemieux has played so well, looking for his career best 41 goals. Scotty Young looking for his 4th 20-goal season.
And as we check out the Western Conference standings, things are pretty rock solid. 1, 2, 3, Detroit, the Avalanche, and Chicago. But after that, Peter, it gets very interesting.
Right now, honestly, Colorado could play anyone from number 4, St. Louis, all the way through number 10, Edmonton, in the first round, where they would play the 7th place club. That's how